Sustainability in the construction industry. Our guest for today is leading a company that aims to promote eco-friendly construction through innovative materials and products. Ria Liza is the woman behind Piety Technology Incorporated.
The woman of today was a mere dream for a woman of yesterday. History has shown how difficult it is for a woman to cement her space in the realm of science. But today, we take the lead. We set the standards. We are in the front lines. We are women. We work to create a world where a woman can choose science as her journey, where technology is her uninterrupted road, and progress is her destination. We work to create a world where a woman in science is the norm, not the exception. A world where she is a constant educator, innovator, mentor, and leader. A world that is, and will continue to be, an inclusive and diverse global scientific community.
I am Dr. Ria Liza. I am an engineer scientist, and I am a woman in science.
Hello everyone, I am Gabrielle Ongjoco and I will be with you for tonight as your co-host. I describe myself as the Mediocre writer from National University, Manila. It is another night for us to learn and engage ourselves with how wonderful knowledge and wisdom can be when applied. The objective of this channel is to promote the feminine genius advocacy. One of the many goals is woman empowerment and gender equality through education and livelihood. One way to educate is by inviting guests of any gender who will impart their personal journey, challenges, and breakthroughs that will give invaluable learnings to viewers. By becoming a guest, he or she is tagged as the friend of the feminine genius. Tonight, we will have another co-host, Miss Ella Wans, who is an IT specialist, research coordinator, an educator, a vlogger, a practitioner, and she also promotes the Team Helpful to help newbie YouTubers. Miss Ella Wans is also an industry practitioner, researcher, and soon to be a doctor of information technology and financial advisor. And now let's welcome our host for tonight, Dr. Ria Liza C. Canlas, who is a civil engineer, materials engineer, and patent agent. Dr. Ria also promotes the feminine genius as a female making impact in male-dominated industries such as construction, manufacturing, and creatives. She was also featured in several media outfits as an ASEAN designer and a woman in science. Dr. Ria is an industry practitioner, educator, researcher, innovator, inventor, technologist, scientist, entrepreneur, patent professional, and science communicator. Together, let's welcome Dr. Ria Liza and Miss Ella Wans.
Hi, Ella.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. And of course, welcome to my channel and welcome to Cambodia. We are now here at Cambodia.
Yay!
We call this place Phnom Penh as the capital city of Cambodia. Hello, everyone. Of course, welcome to my channel. This is Dr. Ria Liza, always at your service, and this channel is meant to promote the attributes of a feminine genius, and these attributes are also our membership packages, and these are humility, kindness, patience, good character, industry, virtue, piety, and devotion. And as a feminine genius, I spread lessons by featuring people from my network of any gender to share their personal journeys, their challenges, and their breakthroughs, because we believe that listening to other people's story is called humility, and sharing is called generosity. We are somehow influenced by the lives of other people, which we can apply in our own selves to be a better version of who we are. Remember, life is short. Let us live our lives to the fullest and let us be inspired by our special guest tonight. Of course, this is live via Facebook page, The Feminine Genius, via Facebook groups, The Feminine Genius Groups Philippines, and for the Feminine Genius brand and development and direction. Bon Labora, our Agos Maharlika. Bon is presently at London, in London. Hello, Bon. I later sisilip yang si Bon. And of course, all our guests in this live streaming will be part one of our book, The Feminine Genius Meets. Each guest episode will have one chapter in our book. We're just waiting for Bon to come back anytime in July for our physical book launching with our co-author, no other than our co-host, the mediocre writer, Miss Anne. Apparently, Anne will not be joining us today because magre-Reyna Elena siya. Okay.
Wow.
So, this time, guys, let me welcome, of course, ang kasama ko ngayon sa Cambodia, si Ella Wans.
Hello everyone! Yes, actually, feeling ko nasa Japan ako kasi nilalamig ako kahit nandito sa Cambodia. Namiss ko na ang Pilipinas kahit ilang linggo pa lang ako sa Singapore and then sa Malaysia and then kararating na namin sa Cambodia this afternoon. So, yan, welcome myself and the viewers of Dr. Ria Liza here at live po sa Cambodia. And tonight, syempre another night na mag-enjoy po tayong lahat kasi bukod sa learnings na makukuha natin, of course, mag-enjoy pa tayo no sa mga pa-effect po ng ating host tonight. So, again, yung mga hindi pa po member dyan ng The Feminine Genius, baka naman, no, you just have to visit Dr. Ria Liza and then at the bottom of her video, you will see a join button here, there. Just click on that and then select the perks that fits to your personality. So, ganun lang po kadali and marami pong benefits yung pa-member po ng ating host. So, ayan, magpa-member na po yung mga hindi po naka-color green dyan para mapasama natin yan sa launching po ng mga activities, livelihood ni Dr. Ria Liza. Para po yun sa mga members at the same time, sa lahat po ng mga loyal viewers din po ni Dr. Ria Liza. Hindi lang po ito pang women ang kanyang show. Para din po ito sa mga Maria, sa mga
male genius.
Yan.
Gaya na isa nating guest mamaya. At syempre sa mga katulad ni Kurt, nandiyan si Kurt, no? Yung ating mga Z genius or yung mga young generation.
Alright. So, ayan, magpa-member na po tayo kasi malapit na talaga mag-start yung mga activities po ng The Feminine Genius, advocacy po ni Dr. Ria Liza. And we are just also waiting no, for in a minute para magsimula po yung ating para pumasok po yung guest na Maria. But in the meantime, allow me to remind you na tonight is another entry na naman po ang inyong shoutout dyan. Attendance po natin yan. Every time na nandito po kayo sa show ni Dr. Ria every Saturday. So, your attendance every Saturday will serve as your entry on the grand raffle po si Dr. Ria Liza every December. So, ganun siya kagalante. So, huwag nating ikahiyang i-shoutout po yung ating name. Hello po sa mga viewers ni Dr. Ria Liza dyan sa Facebook. And dalawa ang Facebook live po, Maria, right? Meron din po siyang The Feminine Genius Group of the Philippines.
Yeah.
Please don't forget to shout out your name para maisama po sa pa-attendance natin tonight. And of course, bago tayo magsimula ulit, allow me to remind you again to please invite your friends to visit Dr. Ria Liza's channel. Live streaming every Saturday po ito na 9 p.m. until 12 midnight. So as usual, we will have a short game later and have fun with our guests. So it is called Pinoy Henyo, right? And we will ask the viewers.
Ngayon, Cambodian henyo.
Yeah. Hindi na siya. Pero ang mga sasagot kasi Pinoy. So we will be asked not to guess 5 significant words that our guest mentioned during the presentation. So GCash prizes will be given to the winners and the amount is based on the number of viewers. Malay natin, ang pumasok ngayon, 100 viewers. Aba, mataas ang pa-Gcash ng ating host dyan.
Kailangan sa YouTube, ah.
Yes, huwag tayo sa Facebook lang kasi sayang ang views.
Yeah.
So please invite your friends to watch the live streaming of Dr. Ria Liza. All you have to do is click on share and then forward nyo po sa inyong mga friends sa GC, Messenger, or i-post nyo po sa wall. Or shoutout nyo po sa Twitter. No? Or may mga Instagram dyan. Like naman. So, again, every Saturday po ang show ng ating host. So, today is an episode
86.
Iyon. Sana pinahulaan pala natin, malay natin, no? Magiging question yun mamaya. So, by the way, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video of Dr. Ria Liza. And please don't forget to, of course, hit the notification bell para every time na may vlog po ang ating host, updated tayo. So, what are you waiting for? Ayan, mag-subscribe na po tayo. And, by the way, meron po tayong comment section dito. Baka may mga bagong viewers na please feel to write your shout-outs. I'd like to shout out Dr. Rita. Parang ang layo mo. Shout out Dr. Rita.
Ay, hello.
Rita Aranda.
Dito kayo dapat. Pakita kayo dito. Dito.
Shout out
Dr. Rita, and
Judith
Judy.
Principe.
Pakita. Kaway lang kayo dito sa camera.
They're all here in Cambodia.
Kayo pala.
Hello!
Asa na?
Rita.
Hello! Hi, I'm here now.
So yun po yung aming mga teammates po no, sa Cluster 1 and the other two nasa ibang hotel po sila. So shout out po Ma'am Debbie and Ma'am Dolor. Again, I'd like to announce, Ma'am Ria, that the Anything Goes That shop has now the first set of products from the Ila Farm of the Child of the Universe, and that's Ma'am Aleli and Ansacola. So here is the instruction for you to visit the site. You have to go to Anything Goes That shop, register as vendor, wait for approval by the admin, log into your account, and then choose the product to sell. So our products will grow in time. All right, so this is an exciting development for the Feminine Genius members. So what are you waiting for? Be a member. Diba, Ria? Member na po si Ella once. Kailangan na mag-renew.
Alright. So, I missed all of you last Saturday because last Saturday, it was a very hectic schedule from morning up to 1 a.m. Ella, no? Because of daming event na naganap. I was invited as speaker of the Association of the Structural Engineers of the Philippines. Hello po sa inyong lahat. And I presented Polite. Tapos in the afternoon, afternoon naman, we had special meeting with some important matters. And then sa evening naman, nagkaroon kami ng Grand Alumni, 88 Grand Alumni of Papua Institute of Technology. Siyempre, I have to support. At kami daw ay tinatawag na Pearl Awardee. My God, Pearl. Ayoko sabihin ko ilang years yung Pearl, kasi mag-complete sila ng edad. Okay, at tawag doon, Pearl Jubilarian. Okay. Kasi this is the first hybrid alumni homecoming that had happened. It was pandemic, 2 years na walang naganap. Ngayon, hybrid. So, ang ibig sabihin na hybrid, combined ang personal attendance, physical, face-to-face, plus some are watching online. Okay, so 1 a.m. nakinig ako ng mga discussion ninyo. So as mentioned by Ella, there are two we have this CHED or Commission on Higher Education grant in aid research projects. This is about big data analytics on mapping the emerging industry landscape. This is this project, of course, will run for 1 year, and we have members of or research investigators, local research investigators, and as well as international collaborators. And we plan to feature all our collaborators. We started by featuring last week the Cluster 1. So tinatawag namin pong Cluster 1 are this set of of investigators or research people or members who visited um, the first set of ASEAN countries, Southeast Asian countries. So what are our cluster one? Ang cluster one namin, of course, we started our trip to Singapore. And of course, Singapore, no, nakaka-excite kasi we've met Dr. Leong Laupeng of the National University Singapore or NUS Natural. Isang NUS number one in the Global Innovation Index in the world. Kaya talagang napakalaking karangalan na tayo ay magkaroon ng collaboration with NUS. We stayed there for 2 weeks, 2 days, and then we went to Malaysia. Of course, in Malaysia, we visited Taylor's University, the number one private university of Malaysia, which has a QS stars ranking of no other than 5. Okay, the highest ranking yung 5, no? At ang ganda nung ano, no, Ella, di ba? Ang ganda nung campus, no? Yung
Yes.
campus is with a lake, kaya tinatawag na Taylor's University Lakeside kasi there's a lake inside the campus at talaga namang um, nakaka-amaze yung buong kapaligiran nung campus na yun. No? I hope that we could have that kind of campus in the Philippines as well. And we also visited MITI, called Ministry of what's I? MITI. International Trade and Industry. Okay, MITI, talaga namang to the maximum level ang ating discussion with them, especially discussing about the ASEAN Economic Cooperation. Balak din natin bisitahin syempre ang headquarters of the ASEAN pagdating na natin sa Cluster 2. We also met with the Deputy Director General of the Intellectual Property Office of Malaysia. Sobrang generous. Binigyan pa tayo ng token, Ella, no? Bawat isa sa amin may token. And it was a very interesting discussion and, of course, collaboration. So, and sa Cluster 1, you've met last week yung ating mga collaborators, no? So, this time, teka lang, yung Cluster 1 after Cambodia will go to Thailand and then to Vietnam and then Laos. So that's 6 countries. And then we have the Cluster 2, syempre. Yung Cluster 2 hindi pa lumalabas, no? Lalabas pa lang sila on this coming June 20. Sila yung guest natin pamaya-maya ng konti. Okay? So I hope and I've listened to this discussion that you had last week. Very amazing lahat ang napag-usapan natin. No? This is an opportune time for everyone to be excited and to know yung mga journey ng mga tao who are part of a grant in aid, no? Lalo to mga team ko, I don't know kung ilang beses sila naging part of grant in aid, but me, I was a part of a grant in aid for 4 under the Commission on Higher Education and 2 under the Department of Science and Technology. So ito yung pinaka-level up kasi this time, it's Southeast Asia. Okay? And of course, the Southeast Asia is a counterpart funding of all the universities as part of this research. Local collaborators, we have National University, Lyceum of the Philippines, University of of course, Adamson University as the lead institution, represented by Dr. Nuna Almanzor. I think Dr. Nuna, baka umabol siya mamaya, no? Nasa Baguio kasi siya. Hindi ko alam kung nakabalik na siya sa Manila. And of course, we have Technological University of the Philippines, Polytechnic University, and the university where Ella is. The university,
First City Providential
FCPC.
College.
Ang taging guest natin ang kanilang napakabait na VPAR, si Doc Etchel. Alright? So, without further ado, I think this is the time to introduce our guest for tonight. Welcome to today's episode of Feminine Genius Meets the ASEANA Team, Cluster 2, with the theme, How is it to be part of a Grant and Aid project, Part 2? This is Late Night with Dr. Ria Liza, featuring up close and personal with the 2 collaborators or investigators in this team. We have Mr. Lawrence Gale of Adamson University and Miss Irene Cruz of Lyceum of the Philippines University. This time, let us meet them siguro one by one to tell anything about themselves. Ano ba, ladies first ba to? Ay, gentlemen first? Nako to. Parang tumatawa sila at the backstage. Siguro ano na lang, Ella. Ladies first. Di ba? Ladies first
Yes.
tayo, yes. Siyempre, pasok muna natin sa ating studio. Miss Irene Cruz.
Hello po.
Hello, Irene. Hello.
Good
Hi,
evening.
Ma'am Irene.
Malamig
Hi,
dyan ba?
how are you?
I'm good po. Medyo pagod lang, pero okay naman.
Mas pagod ka pa sa amin.
Opo.
Hindi na kami natutulog. Oo, totoo
Sabi
yun.
ko
So,
nga eh.
so sige, Irene, I think all our the audience want to know about you. You can tell about yourself, etc., etc. Take your time.
Sige. We want to keep it simple and short. So, I'm Irene Cruz. I'm from Bacoor, Cavite, currently working at Lyceum of the Philippines University, Manila as Senior High School Coordinator. I also graduated from LPU, batch 2001, and happy to say that Dr. Ria Liza was also one of my professors during my college days at LPU. So she's that young. So,
Like,
so basically, I think this is my second no, being part of your CHED granted a research team. Pero dati pa apprentice lang po sa mga other researchers mo po when you were still in Lyceum. So, simpleng tao lang naman. Ayun po. So, looking forward to this discussion with you. Unfortunately, Ma'am Nuna po yata cannot make it. So, tonight. So, yun po. Good evening, everyone.
alright. So, si Irene pala, estudyante ko. Pinasa kita, ha?
Pala?
Pinasa kita. Si Irene kasi is one of my students on my first year in Lyceum of the Philippines University. And I love that university so much because I fly high because of my experience, 18 long years with Lyceum of the Philippines University. And of course, hindi pwedeng mawawala ang like LPU kapag may mga engagement ako, lalo na something like this. Okay? So, sige, Irene, babalikan ka namin. Wala ka bang isa-shout out dyan?
Andito. Baka mamaya may mga maingay po sa background. So, nandito po sila Beng, si Kurt.
Pwede naman kumaway. Pwede kumaway.
Pwede naman kumaway. Kumaway ka daw.
Hello,
May
Curty. I miss you, Curty.
Miss ka
Si
na.
Oliver.
Andito po sa kabilang side, nagdi-dinner.
Okay.
Kadarating lang po from work.
Alright. So, sige, Irene, babalikan ka namin later. Hello, Oliver. Bro, I miss you, bro. Okay. So, this time, ano masasabi natin? The only thorn among the roses. Hello. Okay. The only thorn among the roses, no? To keep a balance. So, puro mga girly ganyan mga kasama. Siya ang nagbabalance sa atin ng ating male genius, no? From Adamson University, we have Mark. Ayan. Hello, Mark.
Hi, good evening, Dr. Ria, Miss Ella, and Miss Irene. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to be part of your YouTube channel. Thank you.
Sige, Mark, the audience wants to know about you.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. So I'm Mark Lawrence Gale. I'm the Executive Assistant of the Vice President for Academic Affairs of Adamson University. So I'm a co-research investigator in this big data analytics project. And I'm glad and humbled to be invited in your Feminine Genius channel, Dr. Ria. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Of course, syempre. Oo. At thank you din sa iyong very laughable boss. Hello po, Ma'am Cathy. Yan. So, sa center na natin yung ating mga guests. Yan. So, of course, si Mark naman, siguro sa lahat ng mga members ng Ched Grant and Aid, si Mark yung hindi siya pinakabata. Kasi hindi, bata siya sa'yo eh. Judith
Mas bata
Leslie.
po yata siya.
Bata pa si Mark. So, tsaka siya rin yung kumbaga, first time ko makakasama sa isang team. Ayan.
Yes.
Kaya, nai-excite tayo. So, can you, let's have expectations kasi ang pinakamahalaga dito yung mga viewers natin is maging ma-inspire sila. I know that a lot of people are eyeing to be part of a grant in aid, lalo na ito Southeast Asia, no, regional ang ating approach. So, can you tell us your expectations being part of a grant in aid? Sige.
Who will
Para
answer first?
ladies first. Ikaw muna.
Ladies first.
Unfair, mamaya naman, male first,
Wala po dapat gender bias. Expectations po. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Malinaw ba yung audio namin ni Ella?
Yes po.
Yeah, malinaw naman
Ako
po.
po. Sa akin po. Naririnig po?
Yes, malinaw kayong pareho.
Okay. Okay po. So, in every research activity naman po, my expectation is always to learn something new, especially in this one po. Although I'm a graduate of computer engineering, I was not able to really practice my specialization because I directly worked as an admin, but because of research activities like this po, there's always a new learning. Like, siguro si Sir, si Sir Mark makaka-relate. Experiencing po yung sa workshop with Supermap. It was a new thing for us, although may background naman po tayo ng programming and all, but it's a different application and kung talagang aaralin siya, talagang alam mo po yun, maraming ka matututunan and maraming paggagamitan yung application, special application na yun. And also, expectations po with, kasi mga kasama natin, most of you are mga doctors po mga doctorate na po talagang mga nasa pedestal. So, ang expectation lang is talagang matuto pa po ulit. You know, research is a continuous learning experience and saya. And alam niyo po yun, maraming pupuntahan kasi, especially kapag natapos natin tong 1 year natin na project. So, Sir Mark, ikaw naman.
Yes, Mark, ikaw, ano yung expectations mo?
Okay. Siguro po, basically the same po with Ma'am Irene, just as she mentioned, since this is a research project, so we're trying to address critical issues of our society. And as much as possible, we would like to contribute to the resolution of these critical issues. But since this is a CHED grant in aid project, so my expectation is that the output of this research project would have a significant contribution to nation building and national development. Okay, but on a personal level, just like what Ma'am Irene said, continuous learning process. Everything or every day is a learning experience. Parang always take it as a new day whenever you are engaged in research. And po.
So, tama yan. Continuous learning process, no? That doesn't matter whether doctor ka na or hindi pa or whatsoever, kung ano man, gaano kadami rin yung research projects na naging you are involved with, no? Ang exciting about research is that every project means new learning. Tama yun, no? Every project is an additional to a learning. You know, yung continuous learning na pinag-uusapan, sinasabi yung dalawa dito, no? Talagang every moment that we had a meeting, kahit na sino pa yan, kahit na ilang LGU pa yan, ilan pa yung nakausap natin, no? It seems like every meeting na lang, there is something new that we are learning from, okay? Kahalimbawa, no, you've been involved with namasyal na tayo. We did our data gathering locally where we visited local government units and we visited, I mean, yeah, Visayas, Mindanao, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Can you just tell us about ano ba yung mga new learnings na natutunan nyo during our local data gathering? Can be anything. It could be personal, it could be something intellectual. Ano man yon, kung ano man yung learnings na nakuha nyo, napulot nyo when we did yung ating local data gathering, and you can also explain the experience. So, saan ba kayo nagpunta? Saan ba ito? Ano ba yung mga pinuntahan ninyo? Okay? So, this time, unahin naman natin ang male first.
Oh.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Mark.
Yes po. Okay po. Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Ria. Siguro po, one of the major learning experiences or concepts in our research project, siguro nung nagpunta tayo ng Cebu, when we met yung Cebu Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. Uh, I've actually learned this concept before, yung academic industry mismatch or academic industry gap, but I never thought that it's actually a very serious issue until the time that I joined this research team. I found out that it's really a matter of socioeconomic development. Also, yung academic consumer gap, I've never thought that it actually existed. But when Ma'am Ria and even yung Cebu Chamber of Commerce introduced it, yeah, parang for me, it was something really new. That parang it's an eye-opener that we in the academe should really do something to close the gap.
Nakat ba si Mark?
Mukhang nag-freeze.
Nag-freeze si Mark?
Yes.
Si Mark? Oo.
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
Ayan,
Okay na
yan.
po
Okay,
kasi.
go ahead, Mark.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Mark.
Okay po. Yan, ganun. And then another new learning is that siguro we're trying to do this research study because we're currently now in the new normal. So obviously there would be a huge mismatch between the industry needs and the skills of the graduates. That's why we are doing this research study. Okay. And then uh, maybe another new learning is possible din po pala to do data analytics on business registration, publication database, patent registration. Because honestly speaking, I'm a psychology major. I'm not really into computers or into that stuff. Okay, but just like what I mentioned earlier, it's always a new learning experience. So I'm very open when it comes to learning new things.
So, dun sa binanggit ni Mark kanina, no, yung learning natin about the visit to the Chamber of Commerce is very important. Ang dami ko ding natutunan, Mark, no? Lalo na yung nagre-reverse pitch na sila, 'di ba? Na talagang nakikita natin na ibang-iba yung pananaw ng isang nasa academe, isang nasa government at saka isang nasa industry. So, kitang-kita natin yung pagkakaiba ng mga opinion, ng mga observation, and but each of them validates the realities of this mismatch that we want to address. Yun nga sinasabi kanina ni Mark na dalawang mismatch that we want to solve in this problem. The academe industry mismatch, wherein the academe is not producing the kind of human capital that the industry needs, and the academe and the market mismatch, wherein the academe is not producing what the consumer wants. So, ang daming validation na nangyari during our data gathering. So, yes, tama yung mga sinabi ni Mark, no? Okay, and Cebu, of course, no? Cebu.
Na-miss ko yun.
Na-miss mo yun.
Kasi hindi pa nakapag-reply ang management sa akin noon. So, ayoko naman pangunahan nung pumunta ako ng Cebu nang si Liz na nakasupport pa sa Shell research. So, naghintay ako ng go signal sa kanila.
Yeah, and you know, Cebu, no, no, Mark, no, very exciting. Can you describe Cebu City, Cebu LGU? No, you have this encounter with the Cebu LGU. So, what can you say about Cebu LGU?
Yes po. I believe we visited yung Cebu City Hall and we talked to the Assistant City Administrator, Dr. Anthony Agujar. Okay, and he was very cooperative to us. Okay, and then he was also very willing to help us in terms of trying to determine which among the businesses in Cebu City are emerging or struggling. So I guess parang it would really be a fruitful partnership with Cebu local government unit.
Yeah, oo, yes. And of course, Cebu is one of the smart cities, no, in the Philippines. And we agree on that. No, we see the evidences of how Cebu has been very advanced in terms of their uh, well, business registration, all automated with their GIS or geo information system that they're using together with their business registration. Talagang very amazing. Yung kanilang practice na very advanced, and this Cebu City is one of the LGU or local government unit that each of the LGUs in the Philippines or even in Southeast Asia should look forward to or should emanate or should copy, should mirror. Okay? So, syempre, at masarap din naman yung pagkain. Pero, mga mas, nako, parang magkasama ba lang kayo sa Cebu? Parang ang dami nyo kinain ng barbecue, no? So, anyways, of course, it's a learning, no? We of course, we're at Cebu, taste the food in Cebu. Ang sarap-sarap ng mga kinain namin na mga pagkain doon. Okay, so ikaw naman, Irene.
Ouch. Sorry po, na-close ko yung yung window. So, again po, yung learning po so we were able to visit Cebu pa lang po. So, supposedly Pasig din, but since it was election time, so we were not able to schedule for an appointment with the Pasig City LGU. So, sa Cebu, when we arrived there, talaga makikita mo po yung hospitality ng mga Filipinos, and we have a very rich culture. So, kahit saan man po tayo pumunta. So, when we visited po yung Cebu City Hall, so very accommodating po si Dr. Anthony, and we really learned a lot from him po, no. And nakaka-proud kasi maski na yung nasa middle po ng mapa ng Pilipinas, sila pa yung included sa smart city, whereas sa NCR ang dami-daming pwedeng posibleng maging smart city po, no. Pero you look at this, Cebu and Davao, malayo sila pero nakaka-catch up sila sa mga smart cities sa buong mundo or sa ASEAN per se. One thing I learned po with the Dr. Anthony, he values po kasi parang ang focus niya before nasa ano po siya sa pagbibigay ng trabaho sa mga Cebuanos po, di ba? Parang yun yung sa labor po yung kanyang unang position doon sa Cebu City Hall. And now that he's city administrator, kumbaga napapag-match niya po yon yung pangangailangan para sa labor and also the administrative functions po nung trabaho niya ngayon as city admin. And yung when we went po, dinala po niya tayo sa MIS ng Cebu City Hall, nakakatuwa kasi talagang yung MIS team nila, hindi lang isang cubicle or isang room sa isang malaking kwarto, napakaraming staff or programmers talagang, so they value po talaga yung technology, yung application ng technology sa lahat ng aspeto ng mga ginagawa po ng LGU. And gaya po ng sinabi ni Sir Mark naman, doon sa Cebu Chamber of Commerce, marami rin po tayong natutunan, especially nga po yung sa mga mismatch. And isa sa nabanggit ni Ma'am Elizabeth, if I'm not mistaken, the government, nagmi-meet sila, they create roadmaps kung kumukuha ng mga inputs, but the inputs should come from the business owners dapat. So, yun yung isang dapat din mabigyan ng pansin at ng tuon. And nakakatuwa rin po kasi yung sa Cebu Chamber of Commerce, nag-initiate sila ng program wherein dahil nga nakita nilang may mismatch yung academe and yung napoproduce po para mag-work sa industry, nag nagkaroon sila ng intervention. So they do trainings po na parang ginagawa ni TESDA, but this is in the private sector. So sana lahat ng businesses maging ganun po. And isa sa natandaan ko is yung Cebu City Chamber of Commerce. Known po sila sa hindi lang sa Philippines, kumbaga sila yung nagiging benchmark kasi nga sa mga gagandang projects na ginagawa niya. Yun po.
Yeah, oo. Agree, ang daming learning talaga ng Cebu na 'yan, no. Um, Tama ka, no, the observation where akala natin kung sino yung nasa NCR or sino nasa capital cities, sila yung most likely would set the bar, no, in terms of automating everything, no. But if I recall on one of my CHED grant in aid when I studied the practicum programs across the Philippines, no. Apparently, all that reported good practices are coming from, yung malalayo, no, the regions that are really far, not within the NCR. Okay, so nag-excel talaga sila. So it's a very good thing that all tayo ay ina-explore natin. We include the other regions to be part of our research so that we know their practices out there, no? At malaman ng NCR para ma-challenge din sila. Para ma-challenge sila, humabol sila, di ba? Okay. So, Ella?
Alright. So, dun sa trip ninyo sa Cebu and Davao, kasama ba sila both?
Cebu lang.
Sa Cebu. What do you expect on the trip? And, paano kayo nag-prepare?
Preparations, ma'am, for the trip?
Yes. For the data gathering.
Prayers.
Ano daw?
Prayers.
Ang daming gusto.
Para kasi Ella ikaw ba yan? Ella, prayers.
Hindi po kasi before po tayo mag-leave ng Manila po, di ba? Nagkaroon ako ng challenge din po sa transpo. Kasi wala ko talaga mabook na Grab. Maaga akong gumising, maaga dapat aalis. Pero wala talaga akong mabook. So, isa yun sa challenge. And then, hindi ko pa rin po alam kung anong pupuntahan natin. Kumbaga, yung itinerary. So, although naka-mindset na po tayo na ang una natin pupuntahan is the Cebu City Hall. Pero with God's providence, alam niyo po yan, sa during the second day po yata, diba, you had a talk with DTI. Second day po ba natin yun sa Cebu. So, nag-provide si God ng linkage para po mapuntahan po natin yung DTI. And then DTI naman, nagbigay ng link para mapuntahan natin yung Cebu Chamber of Commerce. So, divine providence po yun para sa akin.
Yes, oo, divine providence. I remember, hindi ako makatanggi sa one of our consultant, ASECNAP. Si ASECNAP palagi nagko-comment sa mga post ko sa Facebook to the team, no, regards to all the team. ASECNAP, syempre saludo kami sa iyo. And hindi ako makatanggi kay ASECNAP on speakership on innovation. Hindi ko alam naman na national level pala yung talk na yun. And apparently, the director of DTI in Cebu was one of the panel, no, during the discussion. So, ang bilis tuloy natin nakapasok sa loob. Of course, my classmate sa Thames International who just gave us the link. So, in other words, what to Irene, the divine providence, because of course, the network that we build, no, when we do research, it's important that you do network with people so that it would be very easy for us to do data gathering. Siyempre, very challenging naman talaga yung data gathering. But of course, aside from being challenging, exciting din naman talaga yung data gathering.
And shout out po sa DOST po ng Cebu City, mga friends ni Ma'am Nuna.
Oo, yung DOST nga pala, shout out. At ano rin sa atin yun, na Cebu City, yung DOST, tsaka talagang binaby-baby tayo ng DOST doon. Sinamahan tayo mag-oo. Hello sa DOST. Tsaka China Oil talaga. Talaga namang
Sana all
parang
Cebu.
And you know what? The support system, the government, and all this, the Chamber of Commerce representing industry, all yung kanilang yung pagtanggap sa atin talaga namang very positive talagang, and they're looking forward of course to the result of our study. Okay. So ikaw naman, Mark.
Yeah. On my case naman po, siguro one preparation should be read a quick backgrounder of the place you're going to visit. Actually, that's what Doc Tuna and I did. Pero you also have to be flexible. Because although you have read a backgrounder of the place that you're going to visit, hindi mo rin alam kung ano yung mga mangyayari. Kasi di ba, like for example, we were expecting to meet Mayor Michael Rama of Cebu City. Pero iba pala ang pinakilala sa atin, si Assistant City Administrator Dr. Anthony Agujar pala. Same case then with Dr. Ria. We weren't expecting that we will be meeting Miss Hope po, of DTI. Ganun. As in, biglaan lang din talaga. So you really have to keep an open mind or flexibility on that. Same goes with Cebu City Chamber of Commerce and Industry. As in, biglaan lang din talaga. So, although, ay nga, you can prepare yourself on those kinds of visits, but you still have to exert some flexibility on it.
I agree with flexibility, Ella. Kasi, you know what, guys, with the network and flexibility all rolled into one, we miss out one university in Malaysia, but because of network, no, all the team and our team, we're able to come and visited one of the number one private university in Malaysia, and that's Taylor's University. That's flexibility. No, talagang hindi nasisiro, no? As a research team, being flexible will give you the idea, yung parang yung idea labas ng labas. Oh no, you have to do something else para maging worth the time lahat ng mga nilalakad natin. Bawat punta natin sa isang lugar, worth our time, and talagang lahat na lang ng pwede natin kausapin ay kakausapin natin. Okay, so that's flexibility. Yes, Ella?
All right. So another question for the two of you is, how do you prepare naman for the international data gathering? Kasi malapit na.
It's my turn po ba?
Ayun yan. Ay.
Ay, ako
Yes,
po ba?
ayun.
Okay.
Ay, who's first? Male first.
Sabi ni Sir Sean,
Mag-check point pa kayo dito. Hindi na mauna.
Okay, sige po. Ano naman kami? Siyempre, ano naman? Ako naman po. Siguro po, it's communication with the international collaborator. Okay, so that's one primary way in order for us to prepare for international trip. And siguro second is yung always constantly check kung ano yung mga travel requirements per country, because it changes from time to talaga. So that's also another factor that we have to consider. Okay? And then, siguro, just like what I've mentioned earlier, always prepare yourself by reading a backgrounder. Okay, always infuse yourself with information so that once you get into the country that you're assigned to, hindi ka blanco. You know the places that you have to go, you know the people that you have to talk to or search for, and you know the data that you need to gather once you visited those places or once you have met those people.
And ikaw, yes.
Irene.
ayun po, yung communication is very important, no? Especially po yung faculty collaborator po na partner natin sa Brunei. He won't be there when we go to Brunei by June. So, really, when we had a meeting with him po, talagang gusto kong makakuha ng other ways para makapag-communicate po sa school nila kasi remember po parang medyo ayaw tumanggap nung research vice chancellor or something ng collaboration. Medyo hindi pa siya ganun ka-open. So, bago ko i-send yung email to to Dr. Sabrina,
Dr.
yung
Sabrina.
global director po for global relations po. Talagang dinadasalan ko yung computer na sana po maging kumbaga kasi baka pagka-receive na email, na kagad, reject na, baka ganun po yung pumapasok sa isip ko. So, pinagpe-pray na sana maging open sila dun sa collaboration na in-offer natin sa kanila. Kasi this is not just for us din naman, it's also for them. Although na when she replied naman po, talagang very accommodating. And when we had the meeting the other day, na hindi ka pa nakasama, bago din mag-start yung ano. Gusto ko i-message si Sir Mark, paano ba gagawin natin dito? Kasi mga ano po, puro sila directors and doctors. And yung, alam ko po si Dr. Uwais, Malik yung apelido niya. I remember back in college, yung mga textbook na ginagamit sa engineering, maraming Malik po na apelido. So I was wondering kung isa siya doon sa mga authors ng book na nagamit po natin before. So ayun, luckily naman po, the meeting went well. Thank you Sir Mark din for joining during that meeting. At ayun po, they parang they gave us naman the schedule na sabi nga namin on the 23rd we'll be at the IPO of Brunei. So that's in the morning po, tama. So they gave us the 23rd afternoon for our visit sa university nila. So ayun. And one of the preparations po is I was looking at the language being used. Although they speak English, gusto ko po sanang when we go there, kahit pa paano mga simpleng Malay po yung ginagamit nila and Arabic. So sana makapag-greet tayo kahit na mga simpleng greetings lang in their own language kasi siguro ma-appreciate din po nila yun. So yun, readings, and always have a pen and paper with you kasi you will never know when an idea will come into your mind. So kailangan may paglalagyan ka. Although you have your phones and your laptop, dapat may pen and paper pa rin. So yun po.
Yes, I agree with you. I know that there's really a need for us to input, no? Kasi minsan na napapansin ko sa mga ibang researchers, they rely too much on recording. They don't have much time naman to rewind the recording, no? Natutulog naman sila after na pagod na syempre. So iba pa rin yung sinusulat kasi nga, well, writing is the longest processing of the idea to penetrate the mind kaysa sa nakinig, kaysa sa sinabi, kaysa sa sinulat. So yung nakinig, sinabi, sinulat yung pinamahaba na recollection. Kaya yung sinulat natin, napaka-importante no? Yeah, write everything and yung kina-capture mo yung words, no, na hindi mo maka-capture basta-basta. So yun yung pala yung nagmamatter, yung mga bigla na lang nag-slip of the tongue, and then you have to document it as a very good part of the research. Tama yun. And I understand yung mga communications na ginagawa ninyo, no? Yung left and right, you have to meet this and that, and there are so many questions, and so many. Parang ano na, wala pa katigil-tigil na communications. And we are so glad, of course, Brunei will be, it's all our first time. I don't know with Dr. Nuna, baka si Dr. Nuna nalibot na yung buong mundo. Pero sa atin kasi, first time natin sa Brunei, we don't know what to expect, but we are so glad that they said yes. Also with the help of, we have a by accident, no, Filipino isa ding vice president, I think, or a director in one of Dr. Jose. Dr. Jose, no, is a Filipino. But I think also backing up in Brunei, and I'm looking forward at going to Brunei as our this is the last leg of our Southeast Asian tour. Kaya very excitingly, parang nandun yata nakabuskay sa Brunei. And also with what Mark has said, the preparation for the COVID is really very kind of toxic. Kind of toxic because, guys, imagine that you will be coming from different countries and you don't know what the country will be thinking when you came from various country prior to arriving to their country, and there's COVID, and that you don't know what will they be asking from you, no? Yung katulad nangyari sa amin sa Malaysia na magbabiyahe na kami na 10 o'clock, tapos 9 o'clock hindi pa kami tapos mag-install na kung ano-ano mga app, no? Each of the country has their own tracing app that you have to install, you have to show. Dito kasi in Malaysia, you cannot enter any establishment without showing the trace app. iba-iba eh. But then, of course, there's a relax, baka nagwo-wonder yung ibang tao how the situation is in other countries. Well, the situation is a bit relaxed, no, a bit relaxed, and seldom do you see social distancing anymore. Especially inside the airport, I cannot see observance of the social distancing, but of course, the mask is still there, a bit of the alcohol still there, and yun nga, always prepare the vaccination card is a new ID, no? Always show the vaccination card. Doon na natakot ako kasi wala akong vax cert. I don't know why in the Philippines I don't have the record of my vaccination. Why the hell? What is happening? Pero kahit wala pala akong vax cert, I was not able to request it at busy talaga. Ina-accept nila yung vaccination card. Kaya yung vaccination card, para mo na rin yung passport, no? And in some countries, guys, they're asking for the policy of the COVID insurance. Tinitignan talaga siya, babasahin talaga yung policy, no? So you have to be ready about the policy of the insurance. Tinitignan yan, all right? But nonetheless, the journey went well, hindi na ganun kahigpit. So yun na, preparation, napaka-toxic na babasa tayo ng 8 bansa, 8 policy, 8 guidelines, 8 tracer app, na parang, oh my God, gulong-gulo na ako, hindi ko na alam kung anong gagawin, no? Buti na lang, wala na nagre-require ng mga PCR test or any antigen test, wala na so far, no, Ella, no? I don't know, Judith, meron pa ba nagre-request ng mga antigen test? So, wala. In fact, for the viewers to know, ang pinakahuling mahigpit dapat is supposed to be Laos, who's requiring a 2 days quarantine. So, nangyari doon, nag-adjust kami ng time ng travel because we have to book pala, no? After some time, my God, inagad na yung 2 days sa quarantine. In other words, nagdagan tuloy ng 2 days yung stay namin sa Laos, but it's okay dahil yung brother ko naman nasa Laos. At dalawa na lang kayo matitira sa Laos. Imagine, parang pakonti kami ng pakonti doon sa 6 countries na pinupuntahan namin. Pagdating namin sa dulo, dalawa na lang kami ni Rita matitira. And alam nyo guys, no, this is kailangan na preparation, like when we meet them, we have this meeting, meron naka-assign mag-document, naka-assign mag-picture, naka-assign mag-video, naka-assign kung ano-ano assignment ang binigay namin. So in other words, pagdating namin sa dulo, kulang na kami ng manpower. Kaya ang gagawin natin ay mag-export na kami ng manpower. Paulo, if you're watching, Paulo will now help us doon sa mangyayaring ceremonial signing doon sa isang bansa. Alright? So, ang daming preparation. I don't know if kung ano yung mga expectations ng dapat kasi we have to meet the expectations of those who will be visiting and those nandito na sa biyahe na. Pero I think may follow-up question si Ella.
Actually,
Ilang items yung pa-quiz mo, Ma'am Ella?
Mahina yata last mo.
Kailangan nyo rin yung website po ng country na i-visit po natin. Kasi may mga, kumbaga, from time to time, bago din po kami ng health protocols. Ayan, may mga apps din po na kailangan natin i-visit. So, ano naman ni Sir Mark at yung Irene, yung mga apps na pwedeng gamitin dun sa pupuntahan nilang country. Actually, kasama ako dun. Sir Mark, nag-ready talaga.
Yeah, kasi cluster 2 si Ella eh.
Actually, sa cluster 1, hindi ko talaga in-expect na lumuwag na rin talaga yung health protocol sa airport. Pero may mga on the spot kami nanonood na mga apps. Pero with the help of Judith naman, no, hindi niya talaga pinabayaan ng mga research staff. Kaya yun, nag-download kami ng, yung unang dinownload namin yung Singapore, Trace Together, and then sa Malaysia, may si Hatra. Yan. I don't know, with the Indonesia, hindi po nagsasabi si Dr. Florin, and yan, sa Brunei, hindi ko din alam. Pero so far naman, wala pa naman na sinabi. Ayan, so...
Yung meeting, ma'am, naman last time, ang sabi po ni Dr. Sabrina, it's just the vaccination card po eh.
Wow!
So, Sir Mark, yun lang yung na-mention niya, wala siyang nabanggit na we have to download an app for
Yes po. Wala na rin daw pong quarantine.
Yeah, before yung question ni Ella, no, makakalimutan ko lang. There's an addition of the agency that we will visit in Indonesia, guys. We will be visiting the headquarters of the ASEAN. Doon ako, sabi ko nga, of all the places that we will be visiting, ASEAN ang, I think, the heart of all the visits. So we have to prepare for that. We have to really do our best to be given the chance to meet them. Kasi, of course, alam naman natin that we will be putting up and creating a so-called Southeast Asian Emerging Industry Consortium where we will be pioneering that, and we want the blessing or the endorsement coming from the ASEAN themselves, no, para mas meron tayong tinatawag na partnership with them, mas maganda. Okay? Nakaka-excite yung cluster 2. Si Ella cluster 2, nakisingit sa cluster 1. Buti na lang kasi walang Singapore eh. So ngayon, sila nag-handle ng Singapore kasi wala nga naka-assign sa Singapore. So, kaya we really need Ella. Of course, we need naman na lahat sana nakasama.
Of course, lahat.
Syempre.
So actually, the reason why nag-join ako sa cluster 2 kasi hindi pa ako nakapunta rin ng Singapore. I wasn't able to visit Singapore. So first time ko talaga, actually sa lahat ng country, Ma'am Ria, ng cluster 1, din sa cluster 2. And yung aking passport, isa pa lang ang tatak. So sabi ko, parang it's a great opportunity. Wala akong makikita ang research na itong in a span of parang 1 month, 1 to 2 months, you all have those country na mabivisit mo. Tapos yung passport mo may talagang, ay!
Hala ko bang marami kang extra budget.
First, yung
Sana all.
Saka exciting talaga, ma'am. Kasi nakita ko talaga yung parang doon mo na lang gawin mo siyang witness experience na ibang level ang mga taong nakausap mo. It's an honor. Kaya grateful talaga ako. Inampun ko sa class.
Buti nga, ma'am, nakakuha na ako ng passport.
Yeah, yung passport mo. So, humabol. Buti na lang humabol yung passport mo.
Nakuha na po nung Monday.
Yay! Ready na si Ma'am Irene.
Totoo na to, sir.
At divine providence. Okay. Pero bago ka magtanong, may i-share din naman siya sa divine providence, di ba? Dami na sa ating tumutulong, di ba, no, Ella?
Yes, sobra.
Pag naliligaw kami, meron talagang kasamahan pa talaga kami, tapos merong binook pa kami sa Grab kasi wala kami internet, sila na nag-book para sa amin. So, ang dami ding mga divine providence na nangyari, no, na tumulong sa amin during the trip. Talagang wala ka masabing tumutulong din naman yung mga kapwa natin sa Southeast Asia. Ay, by the way, no, bago ulit, kanina nagbanggit si Irene about the languages that we have, different languages. That's it, no, very diverse ang language ng Southeast Asia. You know, I see so far, I could see that there are really the national languages that are being used for business registration. No, example, Bahasa for Malaysia, and of course Indonesian is very Indonesian. I don't know what's the name for other dialect. Thailand, no? And maybe Brunei is using a different dialect. I don't know, Cambodia is using different dialect. So ibig sabihin, MAPI or let's say data mining may not be easy because we're not data mining the same language. No? Nakakita ako ng major challenge because of that conversion, that translation that we need. Kasi, sabi kasi nila, translate ka, hindi talaga siya na-translate ng the same meaning. So, yun lang yung dapat natin talagang ma-consider. Napaka-diverse ng Asia, no? Talagang makita mo, sabi ko nga, parang kami lang yata, parang Philippines and Singapore lang ang gagamit ng English pagdating sa mga forms, no? But all the rest are using different languages. So that's a barrier already. There's a barrier already that I could see. And the programming team and the technical team has to deal with it. Yun ang problema natin. Okay, sige, Ella.
Ayan, so how do you expect the difference in expectations and experience in an international data gathering.
As compared to the local, no?
Yes.
Challenging yun, sir.
I agree. Challenging.
Especially sa language barrier po.
Yes.
Although they speak in English, kailangan nakafocus talaga yung isip mo, ang tenga mo, ang buong sistema mo when they're speaking. Kasi minsan, mahirap po intindihin maski English yung sinasabi nila. So that's one of the challenges po. Maski nung pag-meeting po natin with the IT of Renee, di ba po, medyo may choppy na nga yung signal, then hindi mo pa medyo maintindihan yung sinasabi. So that's one of the challenges. Sir Mark?
Po. Just to add lang po to what Ma'am Irene said in terms of language barrier. So actually, even my email communication with my international collaborator, I'm already having a challenge to it. Parang although I'm stating something in plain and simple terms, pero sometimes iba yung response niya, hindi nasasagot yung tanong ko na parang I'm wondering parang what did I do wrong or what did I say wrong, pero parang iba pa rin yung ano niya, yung response niya sa akin, parang bakit ganon? I'm asking a plain and simple question, parang yet she's answering in a different manner, or parang my question wasn't answered precisely or accurately. So language barrier yun talaga yung main problem. Siguro another expectation would be yung research output, okay? Because many of our international collaborators would be expecting a publishable research study. So obviously, the collaboration won't end with the data mining or the data collection. So obviously, pagdating na po dun sa research writing or academic writing, it would really be a huge struggle. And in relation to language barrier, so most likely we would be more focused on that since English is our second language, or we're more fluent or conversant in English. Tapos, sa ina lang siguro, parang try to meet halfway na lang in terms of the research output between our research collaborators abroad.
Yes,
Actually,
and
sir,
I
diba,
think,
yes po.
go ahead.
Idagdag ko lang din po kasi during the meeting nga po with the University ng Brunei, if we have expectations po na makipag-partnership or makipag-collaborate sila sa atin through this research, parang may expectations sila, sir, agad po na ang unang tinanong po ni Dr. Basilios, who was the research director po of University ng Brunei, what are we looking forward to? Parang will there be a student faculty exchange? May mga ganun na po siya na-mention. Parang inano po namin na this is the first step po muna, the research collaboration with your university, and then we can move forward sa mga other items na nabanggit po nila. Siguro mas positive nga po yung ganun na may ganun din po silang expectations.
Yeah, by the way, Irene, because it was also discussed in some of our some visit in NUS and the Taylor's University, because the memorandum of cooperation stated very generic. No, I mean, it's not just about publication. There are so many things that can possibly be part of our collaboration, and we would like to hit as many birds in one stone when we visit. While we want to do research with them, we take the opportunity and the advantage as well to mention them any other possibilities of collaboration other than research. Student and the faculty exchange is number one. Okay? Because lalo ko ine-emphasize to the team that the most important why we're doing this is we want to leave, level up level up the accreditation of our university. We want to have an international accreditation, and the only way to do international accreditation is to build our presence internationally and not just in research, because for QS stars ranking, it's not just researchers that is an indicator. We want as many possible joint activities, and please put that in the agenda. Okay. Put that in the agenda. Kasi yung language barrier na sinasabi nyo, ang hirap kahit na we talk, no, Zoom meeting, so many Zoom meeting, but still the barriers there, And it's about time to meet them face to face so that we can now have a chance to really explain what we want to happen, because it's really hard to explain by email, by chat, by talk, no, by call. There is really a need to see them face to face and build a relationship, because in some universities, example, they are asking, example, in my case, they're asking, is it not possible to do data gathering online? Okay, bakit? Why do we need to visit them face to face? Well, the technology and the COVID has given us already the luxury of using technology when it comes to meeting. And that's the reason kayo na mismo nagsabi, the language barrier, no? It
And it's
cannot
different po
be,
kasi pag face-to-face.
yes, iba talaga sa face
You
to
can
face.
build a more solid relationship with them if you meet face-to-face.
Yes, and that solid relationship that you're talking about, Irene, yung nakikita lang yung seriousness that
Yes.
we
Agree ako.
we invest on time, we invest on money, di ba? We invest on effort just to see them. It's not easy to be out in the country for this long, especially for people like us with so many obligations and
Yes.
our
Ako
own work,
my
no?
kids.
Yes, our
You
family, our
mentioned money po, parang isa yun sa mga concern nila para, di ba sir, parang na-mention nila na parang nabanggit po yung paano yung accommodation and transportation. Kaya sinabi po namin, don't worry
Yeah.
po, we already have our tickets and our
pag sinabi yan, sana
hotel.
hiningi mo na lang.
Hindi kasi baka po siguro yung nila, yung processing siguro po kasi may specific time sila kung sakaling magre-request sila for budget. Alam mo po yun because of the
Sayang
event.
naman. Sana all. So, ang gawin natin, sabihin natin sa next na balik natin, sila naman ang gumastos.
Pwede.
Talaga maganda. Well, you know what, guys, no? Kasi I was not in the meeting. Maganda yung mga sinasabi nyo ganyan dahil in each of our meeting that we had, iba-iba yung iba-iba yung nakikita natin, na pa-find out natin, no, na may mga ganito palang cases na may mga partners tayo na they're really concerned about our logistics, no? Especially, I have to mention, of course, Tiwa of Bangkok University, who's right now chatting me about, pinipix niya na yung paano yung transportation. Kasi, guys, ang hirap magbiyahe, no? I mean, we bring along with us the tokens, ang lalaki ng tokens, sa bibigat. Tas, itong mga kasama ko, walang ginawa ko di mag-shopping. Ewan ko ba sa mga taong to, wala na yata katapusan na po sa shopping. We're bringing
Ikaw po
all the
yata yun eh.
dala-dala nila, yung from Singapore to Malaysia to Cambodia. Hindi na sila tatagal, no? Wala na silang space para sa bibili nila sa Thailand, sa Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. I don't know paano pa nila pagsasama-samahin yun. Kaya, well, eto na, kaya na yung mangyayari sa atin. So, excited ba kayo? I mean, sabi ko nga dito sa team, no, para lang for the many, for those who are listening to us and want to be inspired to be part of a grant in aid and an international or Southeast Asia or regional research. Yung I'm excited because iba kasi yung feeling ng isang tao na nagpunta sa abroad na nakasyal siya versus sa isang tao nagpunta sa abroad kasi meron siya official business, nagawa siya ng research and meet people, no? It's different kasi wala namang pinag-uusapan dito na can we spend money and visit all the Southeast Asian countries? Yes, we can do that. Why not? No, but yung sense of accomplishment natin is different when you dare, no, doing research and meeting people. Yung sabihin na natin, walang pasyal dito. Kung may pasyal man dito, isiningit mo na lang sa gabi, which is yun na nga, hindi natulog. Dapat natulog, nag-shopping, ayun, nangyari. No? Pero wala naman talagang pasyal, guys. Kung titignan nila, kung malalaman lang nila yung days na in-spend natin dito, para minsan 2 days na lang, 1 day lang. Yung Cambodia is 1 whole day lang. No? And then we have Singapore is 2 whole day lang. Ang iksi ng mga natin, pinakamahaba talaga yung Brunei and Laos, no? So, yun ang natin, the experience is different, of course. Mas meaningful yung pumunta ka sa ibang bansa at the same time, nakakapasyal ka, nakaka-selfie ka, natatatakad yung passport mo. At the same time, natututo ka, nakakamit ka pa ng mga tao. Kasi, you know guys, minsan I come to think of, iniisip ko din na, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? So let's pose this question, and I think baka pwedeng sumali dito si Judith at saka si Artes dito sa question na to. No? Let's discuss, no? Para lang alam ng iba, why are we doing this? I mean, what the hell? Why the hell? Ano to? Why do we want to do this? Go to other country, go to other places and do research rather than making pasyal or something, and do something more worthwhile. Is it something that you think would benefit you and impact you on a very long term? So, umpisa tayo sa why are we doing this? Ikaw, tawagin ko muna si Artes. Artes, upo ka dito. Paupuin mo siya dito. Baka makita yung legs mo. Nasisilaw ako sa legs ni Artes. Why are we doing this, Artes?
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, ma'am, Artes.
Good evening, sir, Ma'am Irene. So,
Good evening
we
po.
are here in Japan. So why are we doing this? So this is a special project, of course, no, that we've been together for how many months now, and this is an opportunity for me, especially, you know, in going abroad, and then meet with meet with our partners, especially, and we've met a lot of our partners already. So this is very important for me, no, for this type of research, no, and it helps me also personally and then professionally. So it gives me, or it provides me, no, confidence, no, especially in doing our research work, and then meeting also with our partners, especially those people who are in a position just like the director of the IPO of the different countries, and then um, those who have the position, no, in their offices, especially the Ministry of something. And we will be meeting again, no, after this Cambodia. So of course, no, Dr. Hall. Okay, so we'll be meeting Dr. Hall in in the days, no, days to come na magmi-meet tayo sa kanya. And uh, we will again, no, meet him and then discuss that something, no, that we are trying to look at. So by face to face, so we will know and will understand that something also, or we will also share, no, that's something that we tried also to have our survey in other places just like us in the Philippines. And of course, my partner country, which is Vietnam. So we will be there soon. Okay, that's why I'm communicating also with my partner, Dr. Tanley, so that we can be prepared when we will be there already in Vietnam. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Artes. Okay, so Judith, why are you doing this? Hindi ko ka. Si Judith naman. Ito si Judith kasi being the youngest, no, sa ating lahat.
Hi to all. Good evening po. Judith Pinto.
Hi, Miss Judith.
So, ayun nga po, syempre itong research project, una-una, ang main objective niya is to map the emerging industries. So, ginagawa natin to para makuha natin yung mga nag-emerge. So, ma-foresee natin kung ano ba yung magiging emerge in the future, ganyan. Personally, una talaga medyo confused ako sa project na to kasi syempre kinuha ko ni Ma'am Ria, kaka-graduate ko lang, ganyan. Sobrang new sa experience, pero maganda siyang training kasi natututo ako pag-communicate kasi nakikipag-communicate ako sa mga resource persons natin, which is mga higher level pa, mga director general. Ganyan. Sabi nga ni Engineer Paringit from DOST Fishery, ano, magandang start to ng aking career. Ganyan. Kaya, ayun, so, ayun, nakikipag-usap din ako sa mga foreign partners, which is, nasabi ko naman kay Ma'am Ria na medyo nangangapa din ako kasi una-una kasi hindi rin ako ganun marunong mag-English. Kaya pinapacheck ko lagi kay Ma'am Ria, ganyan. Kaya, syempre galing po kasi akong civil engineering graduate kaya sobrang bagong-bago sa akin itong work ko. Pero syempre magandang experience siya and marami itong matutulong sa akin after matapos itong research
So,
project.
na-conquer mo na yung fear mo, Miss Judy.
Ano daw po?
Na-conquer mo na.
Ano na?
Na-conquer mo na po ba yung fear mo?
Sa ngayon po, syempre pang 6 months po natin, konti-konti pong nafe-face ang fears yan, nangangapa pa, ganyan. Pero eventually or gradually, sana, mas mag-improve pa po ako. Di ba, Ma'am Ria?
Yes, you will, of
Yeah.
course.
Ayan.
Because, in fairness with Judith, no, baka kasi akala nila pumasok si Judith without experience. Judith had already published several researches. With her exposure in research, nung nakilala ko si Judith, na bago yung buhay niya. Unang-una, nakagawa na kami ng national award sa American Concrete Institute of Philippines when we did a material there. Tapos,
Yes, third place kami.
third place sila across, buong Philippines yun, of course, advisor nila. And then, second is that Judith already published 2 Scopus Index journals, no? With solving the issue of polite technology, di ba? So Judith is there, and now Judith is mentoring 2 sets of Mapua students who are now doing research with us, doing industry-based research. So hindi na siya baguhan sa research. Nakita niya na nakapag-publish na nga siya sa Scopus. Imagine that, Judith, no, in so short a time, and now that he's into an externally funded grant in aid. This is grant in aid, no? Hindi to matatawaran. It's not all of us had the chance to be part of a grant in aid. Talagang yan, divine providence nga, sabi ni Irene. I mean, yung puhunan natin, yung ating maginawang effort to make this all possible, no? Yes, hindi naman talaga din simple. So, take the opportunity. And yeah, I believe what Dr. Paringit had said, Judith has a very bright future. I mean, kita mo naman, totoo naman Judith is now, talking with so many people, who's a director general of this and that, director of this and that, no?
Yes.
Doctors and whoever, no? Lahat na lang nakakausap ni Judith of different dialects and even, but well, ayan na siya. I think she was able to conquer her fears, no? Yun lang pag-document ng lahat and paggawa ng mga
Challenge
reports
din.
and of course the letters, no? It's all a challenge, and the challenge is really we're not sleeping. Because Judith and I usually will meet in the evening up to 1 a.m. and we meet
Yes.
also in weekends and Sundays after I go to church online, and we also meet on holidays, no? Those were sacrifices that Judith are doing for this research, but of course for her own growth. No? Pagka naman nakita naman ng kahit sino yung kanyang resume to the maximum level, talagang hahangaan naman siya for a young age, at dami yan na nagawa in terms of research. Not all have that responsibility. Well, I just have to share what Judith is asking me hours ago. Sabi niya sa akin, paano ba raw makakatulong sa kanya itong research na ito, and then how it relates to her being a future civil engineer or a future who's supposed to be in a construction, no? Ang masasabi ko doon, Judith is thinking about it simply because yung experience niya ay iba sa experience sa ibang mga graduate ng civil engineer or engineering courses as well. It's because hindi naman talaga lahat may chance maging part ng externally funded. Napaka-konti lang naman ng nagiging externally funded sa Pilipinas, no? So, ilan lang talaga yung mga taong nai-involve dyan. Baka wala pang 1% of the whole population of the scientists community or in the academic community in the whole Philippines. So, therefore, talagang napaka-konti nung pagkukunso natin ikumpara yung sarili mo sa iba, mapakabihira nun. Ilan lang naman, di ba? Tayo nga dito in a team, we are so diverse. Remember, yesterday we're talking to Taylor's University and they're into tourism. We're talking to Dr. Leong who's into food technology. We're talking to Dr. Tanle who's into creatives. But minsan iisip nila, are we supposed to be part of an artificial intelligence and data analytics research? Okay? But, well, at the end of the day, it's a multidisciplinary courses that uses artificial intelligence, big data analytics to analyze problems that will solve the gap. Kaya multidisciplinary, the better, no, na hindi tayo pare-pareho, hindi tayo lahat puro civil engineer, hindi tayo puro lahat. So, nagkakaroon ka talaga ng uniqueness, no? You find yourself very unique. You cannot see yourself na ginagawa din nung kasamahan mo, ka-level mo, kaidaran mo. No, but siya iba yung experience niya, ako iba experience ko. Okay? Because you're so lucky that you have passed through a very unique experience that not all has the chance to be part. Ayan, di ba? Oh, so, salute of course to Judith. And yeah, hindi siya napapa-obvious na minsan kinakabahan siya, hindi siya na-obvious.
Usually,
Pero
obviously stressed.
Pero ganyan lang.
Yeah. Ang maganda dun yung poise ka pa rin, hindi ka nahalatang, hindi ka,
Basta sexy pa rin.
yeah,
Like
oo.
Dr. Ria.
Yung ano, 'di ba? Yung hindi ka magkahalata na ninenervyos ka or napapraning ka, wala kang act ng parang natataranta, walang ganun, no? So very poised, very well, that's it, masaya. Okay, so sige, why are you doing this? Ella, why are you doing this? Tara dito.
Shout out po
Rita,
pala
pwede ka
kay,
ba bang gumising
ano,
dyan?
Yan, yun na.
Tulog na. Sige, si Ella. Thank you, Judith. Si Ella
I
naman.
think
Why are
you're
you
talking
doing
to
this?
the wrong person. Why am I doing this research? No, actually, it is an opportunity po to do research, no, with the CHED Grant in Aid and headed by Dr. Ria Liza. Kasi
Nag-message na po kayo.
nakikita talaga namin kung paano siya mag-lead and not all researchers can take a lead, no? Napakasunod yung napakaraming na staff na sa isang big research. So, yun yung nakikita ko na it is an opportunity na look out ko siya, makita ko how to lead the project. Kumbaga, ang dami kong learnings din sa kanya nung nag-start kaming mag-usap, no, ng isang project din na pinopropose sa DOST. And doon ko talaga siya nakilala sa UBEL Research Forum. Ayan, nung kami nagkakilala ni Doc Ria, and tuloy-tuloy na yun. Nakapag-compose kami ng research na hindi man pinalad na ma-fund ng UST, pero napa-register naman namin yun sa patent, hoping, no, na talagang maipa-fund namin yun sa private company or sa international. And with this, parang ito na yung parang answer to my, parang isa sa mga dream ko rin na magkaroon ng publications na hindi ganun kahirap naman ng pagdadaanan ko. So, dito ko rin nakita yon. I grabbed this opportunity to para din mapadali din ang buhay ko sa DIT, kung ano man yung possible title na pwede namin i-craft, no, with the parang magiging mentor namin din si Ma'am Ria, ay itutuwid niya kung ano yung better na papasukin namin para sa aming dissertation 1. Shoutout kay Sir Ronel, dalawa kami doon, no, na dineclare as apprentice din. And marami din kaming na-invite, no. Shoutout to my FCPC management kasi very supportive sila in this research also kasi marami kami mga students din na hopefully pasok namin as apprentice. Yan, excited po yung aming BPAR kasi to join po sa phase 2 sana. Yan. So, yun po.
Yeah, and speaking of apprentice, yes, Ronel, of course, is here, and Ella, our DIT students who soon to be doctors and will do their dissertation through our research project. This is a government project, and as a government project using government funds, we want the government wants as many people who benefit out of the funding, and one of that is to submit the names and the number of people who would be helped by this project, including those who would be able to have a degree, to finish their degree, whether it is undergraduate, or graduate programs in your master's and doctoral, yun ang impact na o outcome na si pinag-uusapan. Yung output of the research, of course, when you answer the statement of the objectives of the research and output, yung outcome naman, ito yung mas immeasurable, no? Yung immeasurable outcome. So, isa yung matulungan natin yung mga nag-graduate program. So, mga nakikinig ngayon, if you are in any degree courses, it doesn't have to be in IT because remember, we are all diverse, no? Yung IT, yung lahat ng kahit sinong nangangailangan ng mga data, nag-iisip na ng mga nasa stages sila paggawa ng thesis, paggawa ng dissertation, please contact us. Contact me or contact whoever na nandito sa screen ngayon. Kontakin nyo kung sino kakilala nyo sa amin, makipag-bridge kayo. And we are open to accept you, embrace you, and assist you finish your doctoral, finish your dissertation and your thesis through our research project. Magmadali kayo kasi hanggang October lang kami.
Yes,
So,
pero may piso yan.
so kailangan may mga October lang tayo. So, welcome po tayo dyan. The more, the many-year, the better. We need as much as apprentice as we can. The apprentice is to give them the experience because it will be good in your curriculum vitae when you put that you have been an apprentice of a regional or Southeast Asia project or the grant in aid, no? Walang monetary dito. What we have here is yung professional and personal growth po. Bibigyan ka namin ng certification that you're part of this study as an apprentice, gives you already the experience. Para dumating yung time, madami na tayong mga possible candidates to be project leaders of future grant in aids. Kasi po, hindi ka naman basta-basta pwedeng project leader agad, no? Bago ka maging project leader ng isang grant in aid, kailangan magpakita ka ng mga experience mo in research that you can really manage a team, manage the funds, manage the resources. So, pagka ikaw ay naging apprentice, ito ay makakatulong sa iyo para in the future, lalo kung bata ka at nag-aay ka na maging project leader in the future, you have already the experience. So, please, no, we're not counting the more the merrier, 100 plus, etc., the better. Siguro to mga apprentice na to magiging busy ito. Nagkaroon na kami ng initial meeting last night and magiging busy yung mga apprentice natin by July when our system is already data mining and there are so many data that we have to call out from our system and we need people kasi the data mining and calling out of information, generating the maps takes time. So kapag marami ka generate, you have need many people to do it in a short period of time. Okay? So lahat kayo ay welcome na maging part nito study. Alright, so ngayon, papatik dito naman sa ating mga guests ngayon, no? So unahin natin si Irene. So Irene, why are you doing this?
Bakit nga ba?
Baka, pwede ba bang bakit nga ba? Pwede ba kami, kasi may kantang bakit nga ba? Pwede ba kami parinig lang saglit ng bakit nga ba na song? Sige na, please. Yung song na bakit nga ba? Bakit nga ba mahal kita?
Yung ba yung title?
Bakit nga ba? Game.
Good vibes.
Isa lang.
Ganyan po. Sasagutin yung tanong.
Narinig mo na ba, Mark, kumanta si Irene? I mean,
alam mo po,
anyone.
umuulan dito sa Pilipinas.
Hindi pa?
Never pa po, never.
Never. Oh my God, you miss 1/4
Ganun
of
talaga
your
sa
life.
hidden talent, hinahide ko talaga.
Now is the right time. Irene, padinig mo na sila. Please! Kaya binigay sa'yo ng Diyos yan para ipakita. Oo.
Magsimba ka man bukas, naka-live ko.
Sige na, please. Ay, kailangan namin, ayaw namin ma-miss yung 1/4 of our lives. Sige na,
1/4
kanta
talaga.
lang. Sige na,
Yung isang
please.
linya lang ng bakit. Ano ba yun ang bakit?
Hindi ko nga po alam na may kanta palang bakit nga ba.
Artist.
Sige na, please.
Parang mas lalo ko pong na-tense.
Screenshot ko. Kasi yung attendance eh.
Shy
Kung
type
ako lang ganyan kagandang boses, baka kahit di mo pa ako pinapakata, kumakanta na ako eh. 'Di ba? O alam mo naman ako bago makakanta, kailangan marami munang effort. Game! Ay, parinig lang.
Di mo po ba nakikita yung tinitira ko dito?
Gina.
Bukas na lang.
Sample daw, sample.
Ano sabay tayo po para masaya?
Okay, sige, sabay tayo.
Ano
Ano ikakatay natin?
kakatayin mo?
Bakit nga pa mahal kita? Yung kay Gigi, yung pataas sa pataas.
Ay, di natin kaya yan. Pang simbahan po tayo.
Ikaw naman.
Pang simbahan.
Pakitaan mo kami na isang soprano. Sige, kahit hindi bakit nga ba. Pakitaan mo kami na isang soprano. She's a soprano, by the way. Si Irene, pag kumanta to, para ka nasa langit. Minsan nga, pag kumanta ko, kung buhay pa ako. O nasa langit na ako eh. Kasi talaga, parang talaga siyang anghel, no? Pag kumanta talaga siya. Promise.
Grabe.
Sige na, parinig mo na.
Wala po akong barya dito.
Ayan o. So, sinasabi na ni, ni Summer Solstice.
Anong ninja?
Go!
Okay, ma'am, sabay tayo. Ano nga po?
Sige na, isa mo ng linya.
Ang daming kanta na wala pumapasok sa isip ko.
Hindi niya maalala yun.
Alam niya yan.
Alin ba yun?
Tama, Ria.
Bakit nga ba mahal kita? Kahit
Isang
di
line
ko
lang po.
napansin ang damdam ko.
Oh.
Ikaw,
Yan
ayan.
yung Ma'am Ria, di ba, Sir Mark? O, di ba?
Okay. And this time, let's give the floor to Miss
Mama, sila ka rin.
Irene.
Po.
Sige na, game.
Hindi ko maisip yung lyrics. Nape-pressure ako. Pakita-kapit niya yung din.
Go, go, go!
Nang ano ba? Go where?
Kanta! Ayan,
Si Ma'am Ele. Game na, ma'am. One. Ikaw magbilang. Sabay tayo, ha? Huwag mo ko iiwan.
One. Bigyan mo ako ng, kailangan bigyan mo ako ng pitch.
Hindi yan ang kinakanta natin sa video.
Ano ba kinakanta natin sa Mediocre? Ikaw?
Yung first part lang po ng ikaw.
Sige, ikaw na lang. Sige, ikaw.
Ikaw. Pero dalawa tayo po,
Ikaw. Oo, kung saan pa kami pumupunta yan, kumakanta kami na ikaw, Kaya lang siya, kumataw, kailangan ko muna magpakalasing. Kailangan lasing muna ako bago ako makakanta kasi pag normal ako, parang babatuhin ako ng mga tao. Sige, go, ay!
Sabay ma'am tayo.
Sige.
One.
Bigyan mo ko ng pitch.
Ang init.
Babe.
Ikaw ang bigay ng may kapal. Tugon sa aking kasal. Nakalimutan ko na po yung lyrics.
Pinutol. Anyway, kakanta na yarn. Okay, sige. Sige, thank you, Irene. Sige, di bale. Pagpunta natin sa Brunei, pakakatahin ka namin ng bawal
Lupang hinirang.
Ay, pala nila opening prayer. Okay, so, going back to our question, Irene. Why are you doing this?
Yung totoo po.
Yung totoo.
Gaya po na sabi namin kanina ni Sir Mark, this is a continuous learning experience po. Yung experiential learning po na makukuha po namin. And kung isipin po talaga yung magiging output or outcome po ng research project, sabihin natin, pag na-utilize na po yung system na ma-develop out of this research project, it's for the economy ng Philippines. Kung talagang mamimit natin po talaga yung mga goals natin na nilagay natin sa project na ito. Knowing na kung ano yung mga emerging technologies na makikita natin sa future. So, para di ba, gagamit po ng system natin, not just researchers, not just professors, not just professionals, but also students. Gaya nga po nabanggit nung isa sa mga na-visit po natin na institutions na the students can utilize this system para po mabigyan sila ng idea kung ano talaga yung gusto nilang kunin na course sa college or kung ano man yung strand na kukunin nila sa senior high school para alam po nila na pagka-graduate nila nung course na yon, meron silang lalandingan na job in the future. So, yung pinaka-utilization po ng research output talaga yung maganda, malaki yung impact dito po. So, yun. Yung purpose na kung ba't na ginagawa.
Yeah. So yung
Besides
kay
sa
Irene more
mga
on yes. Sige, Mark, why are you doing this?
Ah, sige po. Why are we doing this? Siguro po I'll be answering it in three different levels. Siguro first po muna on a personal level. Okay. So I'm doing this research study because I believe this has provided me an opportunity for long-term growth. Okay na, just like what Ma'am Irene mentioned, this is continuous learning process. Actually, when Dr. Nuna invited me to be a part of this research, I was hesitant to be part of this. Kasi sabi ko nga sa kanya na, Ma'am, my background is on psychology and based on sa title po ng research, Big Data Analytics, so this would revolve around IT and computer science and my background is psychology. I don't think that I'm really fit for this kind of research. Pero sabi naman ni Ma'am Nuna, pero magandang background mo sa statistics. Statistics is really needed for this data analytics. So I believe I took a leap of faith. Yun, ganon. Siguro parang sabi rin nga ni Ma'am Irene, divine providence. So marami rin ako natutunan on this research study. Okay? So although hindi pa siya tapos, ongoing process pa rin siya, but I'm learning a lot of things. And siguro I'm also doing this research just like what Doc Ri has mentioned earlier. As a researcher, this makes us more credible. Okay? At yung researcher visibility natin, it would be more prominent, it would be more obvious. Mas makikita ng mga tao kung ano yung mga kaya nating i-offer para sa kanila. Okay? And then this would also obviously expand our network. Yun. On a second level naman siguro would be on an institutional level. So I believe we are doing this research study to make our schools or institutions more competitive. So kasi kailangan din tong research study na to for accreditation purposes, okay? So this would really help us to be recognized not only here in the national level but also on international level. And lastly, siguro why are we doing this research study on a national level naman? Also, like what Ma'am Irene mentioned, so we are doing this to address a societal issue. So yun na nga yung academe industry mismatch and academe market mismatch. So if we're able to provide resolution on those mismatch, so we are contributing to national development and nation building. So in this way, we're also helping schools industry somehow close the gap. Okay? And then provide more opportunities for other people na yung skills or competencies nila would be attuned to the needs of the industry. Yun po. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Oo. So tama 'yun, no. I'd like to highlight words or adjectives that were mentioned. Una-una, credibility. Pero kasi nung bago na credibility, sabi kanina na artist is confidence. You got to build your confidence, no. From confidence, go up to credibility. Because, ngayon hindi ka na mahihiya makipag-usap kahit kanino because you've done it already. You have something to prove to them. It happened already. No? Hindi ka tulad dati. What if, what if? Ngayon, it's a reality. From credibility down to, social responsibility or the social impact that you're already helping out people. Do we, have a social impact already, no? Sabi nga nila sa ekonomiya ng bansa, and that's all government funds are all about. So napakaganda, no? And we don't know how long this will take us, but of course, no, we want to make this long as possible that we can make this project very sustainable. Kung hangga't maaari lobby tayo for budget, and we do so. That's the reason why we are reaching out to as many agencies as possible, whether government or private, para magkaroon tayo ng a funding after natin matapos ng CHED funding. No? So, why are we doing this is a question that many people whether you're in the academe and in the industry would like to explore, no? Kasi minsan sasabihin nila, of course, research is a road less traveled. Not all people wanted to do research. And why are we doing this? No, why are we subjecting this ourselves to this and that? No, ako kasi even if I have done so many research in my life or have been involved in so many projects in my life, I still cannot refrain from asking myself, why am I doing this? I want to answer this and looking at a higher perspective, no? Hindi yung, kasi syempre I'm done with building credibility, building confidence, no? Pagka hindi na yun, no? Talagang I want to give justice to what I'm doing. Yun yung sinabi niyong dalawa. The impact that it will create, no? Ano ba to, no? Ano ba to sa akin in the long term? Ano ba to para sa ibang tao, sa aking team in the long term? Ano ba to para sa bansa in the long term? At ano ba to para sa Southeast Asia in the long term? Okay? So, kailangan na para ganahan tayo sa mga ginagawa natin, we have to establish the reason why we're doing this. And if we know why we're doing this, we set an inspiration to other people. In the university, what we do is to motivate as many people to come and be part of the research, to be part of research activities and level up, no? In fact, may mga measurable things that we can attain while we're doing this. Like for instance, in ranking, no? In ranking in national university, you can never reach your professorial level if you don't have an externally funded research, no? Ranking is one, and then accreditation is one, maybe, I mean, may ROI naman to at a certain point in time. It may help you achieve a bigger salary, or, I mean, if there is a business model, we can be like offering this in the commercial market in the future. We don't know how far we can go, but the main important thing is that we establish the reason why we're doing this. Okay. So, nakaka-excite lang talaga na ng mga sagot natin ang lalalim.
Yes.
Parang hinuhukay ko pa sa ilalim ng ng dagat. Na parang na-internalize na natin yung research because it's not easy, no? Na-internalize na natin siya because, the pains, no, that we've gone through it. Parang naman, if we make it now worth it, diba? And we want this project to be well known. We want malaman ng tao, oh, we're doing this, and we want to inspire people. Okay. So, going back to a grant in aid, no? So, the grant in aid is, of course, a project that is a grant, no? Ibig sabihin ng grant, it's given to you by a grant, by a funding institution without returning it back, no? So, it's a grant that's meant to address a what you call this, a problem that is based on the trust of the funding institution. Okay, so dito yung trust ng funding institution is emerging industry. Okay. So punta tayo dun sa emerging industry na pinag-uusapan natin, no. Ano lang yung implication lang ng emerging industry bago tayo siguro mag-end. Sa atin, research team, ano nga ba ang emerging industry? Ano magagawa sa buhay natin ito? Why the hell are we, doing the emerging industry? And what new we can offer to people when all the rest of the people all of the rest of the agencies want to know about emerging industry? What is this something else that we can offer to the people? Okay, so can be asked you, Mark?
Yes po, Doc Ria. So as for that case, so I think the implication of this research study is that once we have identified yung mga emerging industries as well as yung mga struggling or dying industries, that's the time we would be able to lessen the gap or the mismatch between the academy and industry and academy and consumer. So in that way, the graduates that the schools are producing, yung skills and competencies nila would be somehow aligned to the needs of the industry. So in that way, once we have identified the emerging industries, schools would be able to somehow review and revise their program offerings. Okay, so like for example, in a specific province, nalaman na ang emerging industry nila is, for example, agriculture. So obviously, they would revise their program offerings or their curriculum to somehow tailor fit it to the needs of the industry. And then yung government agencies or mga non-government organizations could also provide training programs to the people, just like what the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry is doing. So they actually make sure that the Cebuanos are actually equipped with the necessary skills and competencies needed by their province or by their city. Yun po. So so in short, parang we're doing this not only for our school but also to close the gap between the academy and industry, and to make sure that yung human resources here in the Philippines and together with our neighboring ASEAN countries would be aligned to what the companies or the industry would want it to be.
Yes, so tama. Okay. How about you, Irene?
Very well said. Si Sir, ginawa mo na lahat.
Get it all.
Please, please.
Yun nga, gaya po na sabi ni Sir Mark, yung emerging industries po natin, for example po sa in Cebu, di ba, ang emerging industry nila is more on BPO and arts and crafts. So, yung academe and academe industry mismatch po, magkakaroon ng intervention. So, the institutions can have the chance to review, for example, mga schools for their program offerings, the content of the subjects na meron po sila. Sorry po. So, ayun po, yun nga, ma-address po natin yung mismatch. Like for example po, there was a time po na ang parang namatay yung industry ng nursing. Remember po na nag-down talaga po yung mga enrollees po natin ng nursing kasi parang sumobra naman po yung dami ng mga graduates before, and then yung need for the nursing staff and nursing personnel medyo bumaba po. So, naapektuhan po yung mga higher education institutions. So, what did they do? So, since that time, parang ang nag-emerge naman po is yung the industry and tourism, industry ng tourism and hospitality. So, mga schools, natanggal yung offering ng nursing, pinalit yung tourism and hospitality management. So, parang ganun po. So, they can be guided po kung ano yung what lies ahead in the future. Since nga yung system din po natin is magkakaroon ng capacity to forecast. So, marireview yung mga the past industries sa mga current and yung emerging nga po na in the future. So, yun.
Yeah, that was a good example. Baka yung mga bata na nanonood sa atin, hindi nila alam na nangyari ito in the past, no? I think that disruption on the nursing happened twice, I may recall. At a certain point in time, hindi na sila talaga tumanggap ng nursing, in-stop yung offering. And then, nung pangalawa naman, just recently, optional na ang pag-stop. Pero yun na, marami na rin nag-stop. Pero yung iba, they prefer to still continue offer nursing, and now nursing is booming again, no, because of the COVID. Padami na naman yung nursing, and while everybody's becoming health conscious, and of course those in the allied health are booming at this point in time. So tama yung sinasabi nila, no, yung emerging industry kailangan guided tayo. May tanong yata si Ella.
Ayan, so actually kanina may binanggit na si Ma'am Irene, no? Nag-mention po siya ng mga, isa pa lang na-mention niya. But can you further tell us examples of exciting emerging industries?
Ano lang, random thoughts. I mean, while we are having already a lot of discussion, consultations, data gathering, ano yung mga nakikita nyo exciting ng mga new emerging industries, jobs, technology, etc.?
Jobs po, mga content creator because of the digitalization of
content creators.
Kasi everything po
Yes,
Just
Mark.
like what Cebu, yeah, just like what Miss Elizabeth of Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry mentioned, booming industry sa Cebu ang creative entertainment, and that includes mga content creators, influencers, mga singers online, mga entertainers online. Yun po.
Yes, yes, yes. YouTubers, no?
Yes.
Live streamers. I mean, blogging is now a profession, so this is emerging, and I think there are ways to make blogging a income generating, kaya nga we're asking the DTI si ating dating direct guest, yung provincial director ng Department of Trade and Industry in Laguna, to partner with the Feminine Genius to launch a program to help the YouTubers. All of karamihan ng manonood sa atin ngayon mga YouTubers, no? These are members of the different teams where me and Ella are a member of, no? Mga group of YouTubers na matulungan sila how to augment income and make really um, blogging a way of bread and butter. Okay. Marami exciting, no? And also, may kausap ako nung isa araw, recall ko sila, kausap ko na yun. Pero you know what, guys, kung ano yung lumabas sa kanya, when I'm discussing with him emerging industry, he said about criminology is an emerging industry. Apparently, according to him, those in the forensic, no, those who are reading example yung mga social media crime, etc., lahat mga ganyan, no, should fall under pala criminology, mga majors. So yung nag-evolve na, no, criminology. And don't forget also to highlight what DepEd has discussed with us. I don't know if it's DepEd or if it's DepEd, yung mga economy daw na hindi nakalimutan ko yung mga jargon of words, pero sabi niya yung mga profession na hindi informal education. No, those in the informal education na kino-consider nating na nakakapag natututo pa rin, no? I mean, pinagkakakitaan pa rin can be a main source of income. Okay, so ano pa ba mga naisip mo mga
Uh,
interesting?
just to add, Doc Ria, I think based lang on my observation, science is also an emerging industry. Considering po that there are a few universities who are now offering data science or data analytics as a course or as a program in their school. Well, like for example, UP and UST, they're now offering such programs. And then there are now mga research companies like Okta who are into data science or data analytics. So I believe that's also an emerging industry. Yeah. Actually, what we're doing is also data science. So siguro magiging part din tayo. Yeah. Ng emerging industry na yan.
Alam mo, Mark, no, that reminds me of our previous guest, si the Okta guy, si Okta Doc Okta. Naging guest natin si, of course, Dr. Guido, no? And nung kausap namin siya, in-interview na siya, tingin ko sa kanya is parang siya fortune teller. Kasi nakapag-predict nga, data can predict, no? I mean, siya yung tinanong ko ano what most likely will happen within the war of Russia and Ukraine, how it will affect us, what will happen to politics, blah, blah, blah. Para na nga tuloy siyang, parang tinatanong ko siya, parang fortune teller na parang ano nga ba hula mo magagal? But you know, ito very analytic, no, hindi hula, but based on data. Ang sarap
Yes.
nilang kausap because anything can be projected in terms of data, and data is the new oil. Yeah, I agree on that, Mark. No?
Yes. Kasi nagiging ano na daw po. Nagiging trend na talaga ang evidence-based decision making.
Yeah, cybercrime officers are also emerging industry. Yes, true, Sagittarius girl. And also, by the way, I'd like to mention what is going on with NUS. A very good NUS and tailors are doing this. By the way, double degrees. Example, you're a data analyst and you want the domain of chemistry, for instance, no? That you can now enroll on double degree. You have the tool for digital something, and then the domain, the technical part. You can now enroll it at the same time, and that's being done already in both tailors and NUS. Sana baunin natin yung pagdating ng Pilipinas, no? I'd like to explore offering that, of course. I'd like to explore, suggesting that under my center. At saka yung napakagandang foresight management. when you say link to what Mark has said, courses, degree courses on data science and degree courses on foresight management, no, it's very important. We've said in our discussion with the NUS and the Malaysia that will be the mother, we the Southeast Asia Emerging Industry Consortium will be the mother of all the incubators, accelerators that we have right now, no? Kasi isa pa yun, yung startup, no? Entrepreneurship, innovation, no? These are all emerging. Ang saya, no? Okay? So, parang nakaka-excite talaga to. Study natin. I don't know na parang sana lang kung we have a luxury of the resources, we could have, you know, learn so many things from this study or even in technician. All right. So, we're I think this time I'd like to the predictive analytics, yes. It's true, Ronel. Tapos yun, madami pa eh. Kasi ngayon it's about time that we have to have a particular majors. Kumbaga parang naka-ano na, kunwari kung data analytics, no, meron ka ng parang mga majors na pinupuntahan. Meron kang major and minor, pero yung si NUS kasi pinag-usapan namin 2 majors at the same time and you graduate on the same year. Our double degree holder. Yan na yung emerging ngayon. So, pag hindi natin inabutan yun, pag hindi natin ginawa yun, pag-iwanan din tayo ng mga kapitbahay natin. But that's the main reason why we're doing a regional study because we want to benchmark. We want to learn from their experience. We want to be as competitive as they are. You know what, guys? No, Singapore, of course, number 1 in the GII or the Global Innovation Index is an open country, open innovation where data is open. You can just get data. All technology are open in their country. No? So yung mga ganong, imagine Singapore nga naman, a small country, you won't have much of the consumers or customers, no? But they are developing new technologies and their market is the whole world. Imagine that, no? So much more tayo kung ang bansa natin ay merong how many population do we have? 100 million plus. Yeah. These are potential customers, no? And yet we don't have the technology. Okay, so this research of us will sprout the will set the bar high, no? When and we support the Southeast Asia supporting each other in terms of data. Okay, all right. So thank you so much, Mark and Irene. Of course, we've learned so much from this discussion. I hope yung makakanood nito will be inspired to do more research, to be involved in externally funded, to be future project leaders and solvers of all problems that we have around us. So, shout out lang si Ella while Ella is doing shout out. Mark and Irene, could you please type on the private chat 3 words that you have significantly mentioned during your discussion because right now we'll be having our Pinoy Henyo. Okay. So, dito sa private chat, 3 words that you have significantly mentioned during our discussion. Sige, Ella will do first the shout out. Ella?
Yes. Shout out to all of the team helpful. Ayan, marami pong bago ngayon pumasok. A while ago, hindi ko na ma-backtrack dito sa phone ko, pero nakita ko kanina pumasok po si DJ Hearts and Kathnet TV. Also, shout out po kay Sis Trophy's World and Tiffany and Trophy. And shout out kay Sir Ronel Ramos. Ayan, marami siyang mga interaction kanina. Thank you so much. Ibig sabihin, nakikinig talaga sila. And nakikipag-engage talaga sila sa sagot din ng ating mga guest. And shout out also doon kay Mia Ordonia. Ayan, thank you so much for tuning in. And sa Guitarist Girl, we have Angelia Jones Vlog. Hi, Doc. And hi, Ate Ella. And shout out kay Ma'am Kat. Ayan, na-miss ka lagi ni Ma'am Artes. Actually, nung Saturday, panay banggit siya sa pangalan mo, Ma'am Kat, nung na-miss ka ni Ma'am Artes. And hopefully okay na yung family mo. And shoutout also kay Happy DTV Helpful. Marami siyang ka-angel natin ngayon. And same with Allegory. Thank you so much sa mga angels natin dyan. Please don't forget po to um, add more thumbs up po no, sa ating host na si Dr. Ria Liza. And sa mga hindi pa po member na willing po maging members po ng The Feminine Genius, all you have to do is click on the join button po at the bottom part and then choose kung ano po yung perks na gusto ninyo para naman ma-experience din po ninyo no, na maging part po sa mga livelihood activities po ng ating host. Ayan, malaking tulong po yun sa lahat. Shoutout din po no, kay Summer Soltis and Metonymy, Roxy Borgos. We have Chichay Uni. Ayan, Chichay Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we have ayan, nabanggit ko na si DJ Hearts. Ayan, thank you Mia. And may mga nag-type po ng coffee. So later, malalaman natin yung host kasi syempre nandito siya sa Cambodia. Baka naman, no? Kahit sa lumong dyan at pa-coffee ay talaga naman. Deserve ninyo yan sana. Shoutout pala no kasi ang dami pong chocolates na nabili ng ating host.
Naku, alam nyo ba, Mark and Irene, grabe, dinala kami sa chocolate factory
Chocolate Factory.
sa Malaysia. Grabe, nabili naming tsokolate.
Si Ma'am
Pwede lang namin
Ria,
isole kasi ang
pinakamaraming
bigat
binili.
pala.
Siya may pinakamaraming biling chocolates. So hopefully, yan, matikman ninyo yan. Sino ba mga loyal viewers dyan ni Dr. Ria? Bakit naman? Hi! Ayan, so may pa-shoutout na po si Sir Nel dyan na coffee icon. And syempre, nag-raise hand na rin si Mia. Baka gusto niyang makatikim ng chocolate dyan or pa-coffee ni Ma'am Ria. And si Choppy, my love, biglang naman. Ay, si Choppy, ayan. Beke naman, may pa-bar na ng chocolate silang icon. Bar talaga, oh. And ayan, si Kurt, pumasok na rin. May virtual hug. Thank you so much,
Pakuhanin nga
Kurt.
natin ng chocolate si ano.
Sino?
Baka nga chocolate, Judith, kainin nga natin yung chocolate na parang irregular yung pagkahati-hati.
Oo, ala. Ayan, magpapatikim na si Ma'am Ria sa amin.
Parang nasa
So,
bag ni Ella. Ay, wala pa rin ito bag ni Ella. Ay, yung bag ni Ella.
Ayan. Okay, so I think, hopefully na shoutout ko po kasi baka may na-miss out ako dahil kanina. Nasa phone kasi ako ngayon na naka-base ng mga viewers po ni Dr. Wow, dumami bigla ang viewers mo, Maria.
Oo nga, padami nga eh. Habang gumagabi, doon sila dumadami. Ano, di talaga kayo natutulog, guys?
That means, no, willing silang manalo ng chocolate o Gcash. Ayan. Okay, milk chocolate lang ang order ni Mia. So, grabe po, napaka-exciting din po yung na-experience natin na nagpunta tayo sa factory ng chocolates kasi parang dinayo namin yung Bulacan as what Pam Ria describe it.
Ang layo eh,
Ang
di ba?
layo.
Tapos ang mahal na pamasahe. Mura nga yung chocolate, guys. Pero kaya lang, di ba? Ang bigat niya. So, no wonder. Kaya wag kayo magtataka kung ba't mahal ang tsokolate pag nakarating na sa atin. Siyempre, di ba? Binyahi yun. Binyahi pa, papuntang Malaysia, papuntang Cambodia, papuntang Thailand. Yan. Hindi ko na alam kung paano pa kami makakauwi. Diyos ko. So, buti na lang yung cluster to, dalawang bansa lang. No? Sa Indonesia kasi marami ka rin naman mabibili doon. Sa Brunei naman, hindi natin alam po ano mga mabibili natin doon. Baka mga gold pala.
Uy,
Mga gold. Oh my God, kailangan paghandaan natin. Bibili tayo ng gold. Okay, so ayan na. Na-excite na yung mga viewers natin. We now have 6 words here. So, yung mga words that you have typed here, kayo rin na magbibigay ng mga clue. Alright, so let's start. 6 seconds delayed from StreamYard to YouTube and another 6 seconds delay to Facebook. So, ngayon, umpisa natin si Irene. Sige, word number 1.
Kala ko naman kami lang yung magbibigay. Ano yan po, may tao, hayop, ganun?
Bala ka kung ano gusto mong, paano mo gustong pahulaan siya.
Parang ang hirap, Sir Mark, may idea ka kung paano mo pahulaan yun sa'yo. Sana,
Ang hirap, ma'am. Ang hirap bigyan ng description yan. Masyadong generic.
yung word number 2 muna po.
Nuna yung 2 nahirapan sa 1. Sige, word number 2.
Pwede ba kami magbago na words? Charot. Kasi po, 3 words po talaga dapat yung 1 and 2. So, since 1 word lang po, di ba? Pinagiwalay ko siya. Pero dapat 3 words po yan talaga. So, yung unang word na kasama dapat niya is continuous. So, I've mentioned that po kanina.
Continuous blank.
Continuous blank blank.
Okay. Kaya nila yan. Alright.
Nila
Go!
Yan. So, 1 and 2 na po yun. Tama ba?
1 and 2 na.
Kasi dapat 3 words po, isang phrase siya. Kaya lang, ang pagkakaintindi namin kanina po, 1 word lang. We will give 3 words, tapos 1 word. And yun nga po, 3 words lang. So, pinaghiwa-hiwalay ko yung...
So, anong pinahihulaan mo dito? 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Kung makuha po niya yung 1 and 2, continuous blank blank. Opo.
Hindi yan yung malalaki. Ano siya? Bar. Isa lang siyang klase. Bar siya. Okay. Kakain na kami ng tsokolate. Oo.
Yung so, first word po, parang ano yan eh. It's the best teacher, sabi nga po nila.
Ayun. Tama ba to?
Number 2 po. Number 2.
Yan, number 2. Congratulations, Shopee, my love. Sa ganyan din nakabalot. Yung nagbenta sila ng mga chocolate na rita-ritaso. Pero ano yun, black yun. Bar, chocolate bar. And another answer. Wow, si Chop. Mabilis ang internet sa Hong Kong. Chop, my love, you get both words. Congratulations. Experience and learning. O, di ba? Kala mo mahirapan sila, no? Nag-take down notes kaya sila. May pasahan nga kami ng notes eh.
Siya ulit na.
Baka dun sa,
Si Shopee
sa
ulit.
isa. Sa block na maliit. 000 ang ano nun. Shopee ulit, Shopee. Pinapahanap namin yung chocolate na rita-ritaso. Nakakahiya, binili mga rita-ritasong chocolate. Okay, next word. Word number 3 mo ay?
Number 3. So yung sa tinanong po kanina na why are you doing this? Bakit mo ginagawa ang research? So for what purpose?
Go.
Sir Mark, ready ka na?
Sige, go. Kaya niyo yan, guys. Sige pa. Try pa. Go pa.
More than the output and the outcome.
Mas malalim pa doon, no? Sige pa. May term siyang ginamit kanina. Go, go, go! Nakita mo? Hindi. Naka-plastic din siya na malinaw, pero black chocolate bar siya na putol-putol. Ang box niya malinaw, parang katulad ng itlog-itlog na yan. Yan, nakakanamid siya. Sige pa, go. Teka, development. Sige pa, go. Malapit na. Sige, go. Kaya niyan.
Bawal yung is there a letter blank.
Sige. Kakain kami ng tsokolate. Yay!
Iingitin nila tayo po.
Hindi lang pala tela, may retaso. Pakita natin. Hindi lang pala tela, may retaso. May retaso din pala ang tsokolate. Hello. Let's eat, let's eat. Ayan, kainin natin. Wala?
Sino nanalo?
Sige pa. Wala pang nanalo.
Inabot
Go
na
pa.
yung attendance.
Kaya ito, dinner natin yan. Tsokolate. Pero kaya nade-deliver dito, Grab?
Malapit na po yung kay Ma'am Gab.
Sige pa, go. Hindi tayo kumakain, ha?
Sige na yan.
Pwede lagyan ng pwede ba lagyan ng kanin tong tsokolate? Ay! Sige pa.
Masarap din pala to.
Harap eh.
Mahal din to eh. Natunayan ba yun? Oo.
8.
Pwede na. Kaya may kumain.
Ay, hindi yata. Ito palaki pa.
Labora. Mula to.
Go!
Dark chocolate.
May sinabi si Irene, bigyan ka ng example. Irene.
Parang how it will affect, gaano kalaki yung effect nitong project na to. if ever.
Nagno-nosebleed na.
Parang
Malupi yung kanilang eh.
malapit na yung, pwede ba yun mag-mention ng number of letters?
Ayun! Nasagutan na eh. Ayan.
Ayun.
Si Kurt. Hello, Kurt. Kurt is back. Ayan. Impact. Yes. So, punta tayo sa tatlong words naman ni Mar. O, sige, isa-isa.
Okay, it's my turn naman po. For my first word, I said this when Doc Ria asked kung why am I doing this. So I would define this as if you have this, people will trust you. Again, if you have this, people will trust you.
Ay, pwede mo. Ay, hindi nakasagot.
Wala pa.
Wala. Yeah, if you have this, people will trust you. You will be believable. You can convince people of what you are saying.
Ay, alam ko yan. It starts with letter.
Ganun lang.
As a researcher, very important it.
Ganyan na lang ako para ma-confuse sila.
Sige pa, go. Kaya niya yan. Go. Panindigan mo yan, Chof.
Medyo malapit yung integrity dun, sir.
Yes, malapit yung integrity. Sir Ronel, malapit na po, Sir Ronel.
Naku, character. Naku, sige, baybayin mo yung mga letter,
You will be believable, you can be trusted, and you can convince people of what you are saying.
Walang pagkain na walang grab. Guys, wait. I will let my
Hindi exact, pero meron po.
Ria,
Malapit-lapit
may malapit-lapit ko, consider po ba natin yon?
It's your decision.
Ano yun?
Actually po, ang exact word po is credibility. Si Sir Ronel po yung first na nag-type, pero si Tiofe My Love po nagsabi ng credible. But we're looking for the word credibility. Credibility, noun po, rather than adjective.
Okay.
Kasi yung tanong ko po, if you have this, you can be trusted, you are believable, you can convince other people. So,
Congrats,
we're
Ronel.
referring to a noun. So, yan po. Congratulations, Sir Ronel. Yan.
Matulog ka na.
Next word.
Okay, let's go with the next word. I also said this when Doc Ria asked again yung question na why am I doing this? But we can define this as a process of self-improvement. A process of self-improvement.
Hindi ko kasi makapakiwan na ng anak ko.
Ano daw? Anong clue niya?
Pwede na papakin ng asawa ko.
Sarap ng ano?
Anong clue niya?
Tsokolate. Ano pamagatang tsokolate? Berries.
Oh,
Ayun!
ayan, nakuha uli ni Sir Ronel. Growth.
Si Ronel ngayon ng ano valedictorian.
Congrats, Sir Ronel, for the second correct answer.
Okay, last word.
Okay, last word naman. I answered this word when Doc Ria asked about yung mga expectations or mga possible challenges once we engage sa mga ating international collaborators. But we could define this word as parang sabihin nating exchange of information.
Ganda yun ah.
Exchange of information. Yung pagkain dito pag konting oras.
Oh, Sir Ronel ulit nakuha niya.
Very good.
Galing.
Wala na.
Galing, Sir Ronel.
Cum laude.
3 consecutive answers. Galing.
Communication. Yeah. Okay. So, congratulations to our winners. Okay. So now, bago lang tayo mag-end, no? Last word lang from our guest. How is it to be part of a Graduate Aid project? Okay. So the simplest answer that you can give. Let's start with Irene.
So again, keep it short and simple. No, how is it? It is challenging, but at the end of the day, it's very fulfilling po.
Alright, thank you. Parang no guts, no glory. No pain, no gain. Okay. And you, Mark?
Same with Ma'am Irene, it's a challenging experience, yet also a humbling experience. So, and then once you are in a grant in aid project, always keep a growth mindset.
Yun, yeah, growth mindset. Parang you're ready to take new and bigger challenges in your life, no? Ganun lang yun, di ba? Alright, so, madami nagtatype yata ng coffee dito. Parang may na-miss ako. Wala si Erlinda, wala si Javier. What's going on? Oo. Wala si Tita Canlas. Kung nandyan man kayo, mag-type kayo. Parang pinabayaan niyo ako. Ngayon, key takeaway muna kami ni Ella. Key takeaway. Ella.
Ang sarap ng chocolate. Yun yung tigawin ko dyan. Actually, yung sinabi lang ni Ma'am Irene kanina, sorry si Sir Mark pala. May sinabi siya na yung sa perception niya, may dalawang anggulo siyang tinignan. Yung personal niya, at saka yung contribution niya sa research na ito ay makatulong siya na ma-address nga yung mismatch no sa industry at saka sa academia. Ayan, so natuto rin ako sa mga nila, yung way of alam mo yan, doing research kasi habang pinapakinggan ko sila kanina, kumbaga worth it talaga ang paggawa ng research. Yun yung na-sense ko. Um, yung term, mabigat yung term na ano, malalim yung term na sinabi niya na may establish kasi natin yung magiging credible, no? Kaya, congrats kay Sir Rodel, nakasagot siya dun sa credibility. Isa yun sa talaga pumasok sa isip ko, yes, that's the right term talaga na dapat natin sabihin din sa students natin para ma-inspire silang mag-research. Talaga kasi mag-stand out po talaga ang isang, alam mo yun, professional kapag iba yung level mo na nagkaroon ka ng shed research, naging part ka dito at in the future magkakaroon ka ng published research. Ganun din kay Ma'am Irene, maganda ang kanyang perception din towards research. Nandun yung kanyang sinabi kanina na, hindi ako matandaan sa mga term, pero yung the way you explain it, na-observe ko siya. So, kumbaga, very, ano siya, eager in doing research and yung mga learnings, no, kahit na hindi na natin si Ma'am Irene ay hindi namin nakasama sa cluster 1, pero yung sinabi niya, experience sa Cebu, kumbaga, I don't know kung si Ma'am Irene yung nagsabi nito, yung acceptance, tapos yung kumbaga, ihanda mo yung sarili mo, para pagdating dun sa actual no, na nandun ka na, gagawa ka na ng data gathering or whatever way para maging successful yung research mo. Kumbaga, ready ka lagi. And whatever happens, kumbaga, tanggapin mo lang. Ayun.
All right. So thank you, Ella, for your key takeaway. For my key takeaway, ang lalim kasi nung makausap natin itong
Yes.
dalawang to, no?
Yun,
So
ma'am.
sobrang malalalim yung mga hinugot nilang mga sagot, no? But of course, I am the continuous learning. That's one thing, no? That when you're doing research, for them, everything is about learning. Data gathering is learning. Publication is learning. Preparing for a trip, preparing for a travel, preparing for everything is learning. Every move that we do, we take in this research is learning. So that's why, so gusto ko lang and then sinundot natin ng mga tanong na, why are you doing this? Okay. So they want impact. Malino yon. So not other than building credibility, at the end of the day, it's about solving real problems, solving gaps. So, with that, I hope that everybody learned yung mga nag-type. Coffee, chocolate, diet, donut, sige lang, keep coming.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for our guest, no? Sana marami ma-inspire, marami nga mag-commit to research. Do research, it's very fulfilling. Do research because that's something that it will be you, no? Sa'yo yon, achievement mo yon, and no one can get it away from you. Ay, yung bang, di ba, if you're in the academe, and even if you're in the industry, research is inevitable. All right, so with that, thank you so much, everyone. God bless you, and
don't forget to
Please don't forget to subscribe. Yung ba sasabihin mo? Ako na tuloy na sasabihin mo.
post this
Link
in your Facebook wall para may makapanood pong iba. At syempre, ma-discover po yung channel Dr. Ria Liza.
At ma-inspire sila, no?
Yes.
Ano yung pinagdadaanan na isang nasa grant and aid project. All right. So, thank you so much, Mark. Thank you so much, Irene. Thank you to all our viewers. I love you so much. Magkita-kita ulit tayo. Next Saturday, nasan tayo next Saturday? Nasan tayo?
Laos na kayo.
Next, talaga?
Nasa Philippines
3 weeks
na ako.
tayo magbabiyahe.
I think Thailand.
Thailand. Next Saturday, see us because we are in Thailand.
Yay,
At pipilitin natin na ang susunod nating mga guest naman ang ating mga foreign collaborators. At tapos na tayo sa cluster 1, sa cluster 2 of our local collaborators. We're trying to feature our foreign collaborators as we move along every Saturday on our live streaming. Thank you so much. I hope we inspire you. Thank you again, Mark and Irene. Ella, thank you so much for being always with me. kahit tayo mapunta sa saang mundo, parte pa man ng mundo, commitment natin ng ating live streaming. So maraming salamat. So we all end this out in a count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.